Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a pandemic page-turner edition of Monster Party.
Monster Party!
Monster Party!
Turning those pages! Flipping through books! Yes!
Page turning.
It's
What
like
could
a clue.
It is a clue. What could that possibly relate to? Well, before we tell you that, I want to introduce myself. I am Matt Weinhold.
I'm SHAWN Sheridan.
I'm Larry STROTHE.
And I'm James GONIS.
And for this episode, let me just tell you, folks, they said it couldn't be done.
They did say that.
And by they, I mean Larry STROTHE.
I've been screaming it at you, but you never listen.
I never listened to him ever. I thought this could be done, and we're going to prove it to you. Because this episode, this topic that we're going to bring back, it's an old favorite. They're all
popular
favorites.
demand.
Yeah, I mean, all our topics are favorites.
Yes.
But this is kind of a tried and true tradition. And it's one that is kind of a game, but kind of not. But it's really more of a learning experience. We discover things that maybe we've never heard of, and maybe we revisit old friends. And the topic is...
What is it?
MAD Movie SmackDown Lives Again.
Mad Movie SmackDown lives again.
That's right.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's another edition of MAD Movie SmackDown, the game where we take reference books.
Yes, a reference book. What is a reference
Remember
book?
those?
For those listeners out there.
Sean, what is a reference book?
A reference book, a genre guidebook, is a book that was written on paper.
What?
That
What's
is
paper?
is a compendium, a catalog, or a guidebook to all the genre films that we love. There's horror, sci-fi, fantasy films. These are books that people put out to help you figure out, learn about these films. And
it's so great because, Sean, you can get these and page through it. You go, oh, here's the creature from the Black Lagoon. That's my favorite. But then you see what the creature that time forgot. Well, what's this film? I mean, it tells you about films that you don't know about.
They are often alphabetical.
Yes. And they're also kind of from our generation in a way, I think.
Imagine Wikipedia on paper.
Yeah, imagine an app or Wikipedia or something on your phone, but it's in a book.
I'm lost.
And you can learn from it. And you can keep the book. You can keep the book physically in your house.
Oh my God, my head is spinning.
I know.
All right. Well,
and I tell you, I always learn something new when we do this.
Me too.
And we grew up on these books. These are books that when there was no apps or internet or anything else, we hung on to these books for dear life because that's how we learned about these movies.
Right, James?
Matt,
Exactly.
But Matt, how can we do this game? Is there someone who can join us?
Is it even possible?
Yes.
Larry, I have been racking my brain for the past 48 hours. And I came up with a name. Oh my God, he's an old friend of the show. He is a talented comedian, an actor, producer, writer, an amazing artist, and occasional beard to Ken Daly. Ladies and gentlemen, John Matta.
John Matta. fellow ape fan and fellow dummy puppet fan.
Yeah, he likes a lot of the things we do.
I love event.
He likes Ben Grimm. He likes apes. He likes the horror and the sci-fi just like we do. He watches a lot of the shows. He's on top of it.
That's right.
Well, John, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. Again, my favorite podcast. What I love is I get to walk my dog for 14 days as I'm listening to the podcast.
Right, exactly. So it gets pretty tired after that.
Yeah, this has already gone.
You guys.
The pre-show has already been like an hour and a half. So yeah. We covered a lot. But we're so happy that you're here. And I think you're really going to enjoy this because it really is something where I learn about new films And, as many times as we flip through these books, you can't read these books like you would read a regular book and remember every single title and go, oh, I have to look that up. We try, we do our best.
Right. But Matt, you have to give the specifics, though, for the listeners who may have not listened to other ones, of exactly what we're doing with these books.
I was just about to do that, and that's a lie. Now, how this game works is that we get one of these reference books, we flip through the pages, and then when one of us says stop, you put your finger on a title in the reference book, and then you read that title. Now, normally, when we are doing this show in person, we have all our books around us and we pass the books around. Well, obviously, since this is a Zoom event, we can't really do that. And we don't all have the same books.
Right.
But we all have books. And so what we can do is we can each choose a book from somebody else or pick one of our own. And we will get that person to flip. And then we'll say stop. And that person will stop on the page. And then that person gets a point. We'll figure out, a method to do this. And we will pick an entry and we'll read that entry and we'll find out about this amazing or horrible film.
That's right. So what do you say we get started?
Let's get started.
Let's do it.
Mr. Matta, would you like to start?
I'm going to pick James to go through his book first.
All right. What do you got there, James?
Well, I've got the Encyclopedia of Horror Movies by Phil Hardy, which is wonderful, and it covers a lot of obscure international titles. Yeah. I've also got the original John Stanley Creature Features movie guide.
Cool.
The first one.
First one, obviously.
Start the very first one.
I'll yell stop.
Which one? Which one?
Which one, John? Do you want the Encyclopedia or the Creature Features movie guide?
Encyclopedia, please.
All right.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
I'm flipping.
Stop.
Say. All right.
And
Finger.
point on the right-hand page. You're right.
My right. Okay. From 1967, Spirits of the Dead.
Ooh.
I don't know this one.
I do know that.
I don't know this. I don't know this.
Roger Vadim, Louis Malle, and Federico Fellini. It's a film with short films within them, directed by each of those directors.
It's an anthology.
That's right.
Anthology. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. Wow, who was in this? We had a lot of people in this. You had Jane Fonda, Peter Fonda. Maybe the only movie they were ever both in. Alain Delon.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Alain Delon, Brigitte Bardot, Terence Stamp.
Whoa.
Skippy Fonda. He was like the Jimmy Osmond of the Fondas.
So what's this about?
This is 3 stories, correct?
Yes.
3 Edgar Allan Poe stories.
Yes. And they're done with
loosely.
yes. And they're done with kind of everything has kind of that Bava feel to it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's very atmospheric.
And I'm trying to remember all the stories. Does the listing have all the stories, or Sean, do you know them by heart?
The first 2, the one with Jane Fonda and Peter Fonda, I didn't really remember it too much. It's not quite as satisfying. And I can't remember the second one as well. But the third one is the one that everybody remembers from this movie. It's the one directed by Fellini. And it's with Terence Stamp as this kind of washed up, kind of alcoholic actor who's basically haunted by death and the devil. And it's fantastic. And he's kind of haunted by this ghostly apparition of this little girl. And it is great. It's kind of worth it just for that. That's like about a half hour, 40-minute segment from the film.
And that's called Toby Dammit.
Yes.
Toby Dammit.
It's fantastic. It's worth it just for Toby Dammit is the name of Terence Stamp's character in the film. Watch the movie just for that segment. The other segments are very well done, but it's that one that it's kind of like Trilogy of Terror, where you remember the last segment the most out of the 3.
Well, Sean, is this on DVD or Blu-ray? Yeah,
I can get it. It's a pretty famous movie. Actually,
was this before or after Easy Rider?
Before.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
so it's easy to get Peter Fonda anywhere. He only went because somebody was, so she would not be kidnapped.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably, you might even be able to watch it on YouTube. If that segment, just look up Toby Dammit.
Well, and there's also, I kind of like the Jane Fonda one because it has Jane Fonda.
Yeah, they're all pretty classy production.
And hers is called the Zengerstein segment.
Zengerstein.
Yeah. So, and she's like this evil Countess Frederique.
Yes. Right.
And then the other one with Bridget Bardot is called the William Wilson segment.
Right.
Anyway, look this stuff up. It's good. And as a horror completist, especially if you like anthology films, it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.
What's the title again, James?
It's called Spirits of the Dead. It's a French-Italian co-production. The French title is Histoires Extraordinaires. It was also called Tales of Mystery, but the title it's best known for is Spirits of the Dead.
Spirits of the Dead. Thank
Did
you.
they rename it to make it a drive-in movie that just bum people out?
You mean the horror of the spirits of the dead?
Anyway, good pick there.
Very nice. I like it.
There you go.
All right.
Hey, Sean, I'll pick your book next. I'll be in charge of books.
Okay.
All right. So, Sean, you want to be next?
All right. Hold on here. I got.
Jesus.
I got.
You should be ready. Be ready.
I am ready. I have horror films of the 80s.
Ooh.
I have horror films of the 70s.
Okay.
I have World Gone Wild, a survivor's guide to post-apocalyptic movies.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a new one.
I have the zombie movie encyclopedia and
Okay.
more. But
Okay.
what do you want?
So which one are you going to pick, Sean? It's your turn, yes?
Well, yeah, but I thought John was going to pick my book for me.
I like this. I like the 70s.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I love the 70s.
And start flipping, please, sir.
Okay. Here we go.
And stop, please.
Left or right?
Right.
Ooh. Okay. Exorcist 2 the Heretic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Crazy movie. Have you ever seen that, John?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's quite a movie.
How so, Sean? How so?
Well, it was a huge bomb. There was such anticipation from the original film. The Heretic came out in 1977, a few years after the original, and had a huge cast. Linda Blair returns. You have Richard Burton, Louise Fletcher, Max von Sydow returns, Kitty Wynn returns, James Earl Jones, Ned Beatty, lots of people. And
Does Pazuzu return?
Yeah, Pazuzu returns. Yeah. It's a crazy, ridiculous movie that doesn't really make much sense.
I barely remember that movie.
Well, most people say that because you see Father Merrin early in his career when he first encountered Pazuzu, I believe. And it's like, because it takes possession of some native. But the movie is very strange. I don't even really know how to describe it. It's kind of like Reagan is, now she's like a teenager. She's kind of subconsciously haunted by what happened to her earlier. Louise Fletcher is like a psychologist trying to hypnotize her, get to the root of her issues.
Well, this was also a time in the 70s when biofeedback was a big deal.
Yeah,
So
there's
you would
lots of
put people-
pseudoscience.
You put these electrodes on a subject's head, and then there's supposed to be this aura or this energy. So there's so much time spent watching Linda Blair with these electrodes on her
Wow.
head.
Yeah,
What's
it's
gonna
really
happen?
weird. Richard Burton runs around not knowing what to do. And it's really, but there's individual sequences that are effective. But you know what, though? I have to admit, nowadays, I enjoy the movie for it because it's so bizarre and weird. But it's
very 70s.
Yeah, fantastic Morricone score, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, I have one question for you. Does it list when the film came out? Because I'm
77.
No, I get that. But when in 77? Because I wanted to go out on a limb here and say, was it because Star Wars that came out on May 26th, everyone went Star Wars crazy, and The Heretic, the Exorcist Two the Heretic, it was like, look, that came out, Exorcist came out a while ago. I want to see these new space special effects. That's what I was curious about. I remember that it was
because
but it wasn't
Star Wars was May, right?
May 26, 1977.
But the minute you try to take an Exorcist film and then you try to make it into this like modern, I want everything to be antiquated when it comes to fighting a demon. I want someone reading out of a book. I don't want biofeedback. You're not going to defeat a demon by reading from passages by
Wait a minute.
Gail Sheehy.
Wait, if you don't like if you don't like mechanical stuff, I have 4 words for you. Legend of Hell House. There's that big machine they bring in to suck all the energy.
I actually don't mind the science.
That.
Science approach. Science trying to versus the supernatural.
I'm just comparing. Fine. I'm comparing the 2 approaches to this topic.
Well, sure.
And I'm saying it doesn't work as well when you're dealing with demon possession, I think, in the way that they did it. It would have this 70s feel to it. Again, biofeedback, I'd rather have them make up something else. It's completely fictional.
I'm not sure. It doesn't say, I'm looking at, it doesn't say release date, although it gives a couple excerpts of some reviews. And one of the reviews was from August of 1977. So I don't know. Maybe it was later in the year. This particular review says, the dumbest movie of the year. It offends the mind. William Goodhart's screenplay is so confused that it cannot take anything seriously. Richard Burton and Louise Fletcher appear embarrassed. Linda Blair, grown a bit plump after the first battle with Satan. That's not fair. Because she's a cute. She's a cutie.
Yes, that's I don't agree with. That's me.
Yeah, don't fat shame the Exorcist movie.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, it was. I mean, I can see at the time people were watching that just open jawed. It's like, what is this? And I think you can reassess it to a point today and watch it and enjoy it in its own way because there's no other movie like The Exorcist Two the Heretic. I'll tell you that.
Well, you can also see it in the context of the fact that John Borman is an auteur filmmaker with his own unique vision. If you look at Zardos and Excalibur and Deliverance,
right, exactly.
I mean,
it's like
there must have been a conflict there between the commercial concerns that Warner's was probably hoping for and what Borman was probably looking for. And then what happened to be in a script that was probably lacking. So
because Friedkin didn't want to come back. Yeah, Friedkin didn't want to do a sequel. And you have to admit, like Exorcist, much later, Exorcist 3 Legion, at least was more of a direct sequel to The Exorcist.
Yeah,
much more of a traditional film, which I like. I like that movie a lot. Yeah. But Exorcist 2 is an oddity that is worth seeing at least once, though.
Okay.
All right, Sean. Thank you.
You boys jump in. Side note, did you boys jump into 30 Coins on HBO?
I've heard that's great. G. Charles Wright recommended that.
I made him watch it.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I heard that's great.
I can't tell you anything about it. Just see it.
That's pretty scary, right?
It's religious. It's got a lot of stuff in it. So it's the 30 Coins, which I think if you're a Catholic,
sounds great.
Have an idea what it is.
Do you know what that is, Larry? I don't know what the 30 coins.
But I was ready to move on.
Okay, sorry. Whoa.
All right. John,
okay.
I just want to keep us rolling here.
All right.
So, John, I've got Video Hounds. What?
Nothing. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
See, Matt, you like pull the reins on the show when we're moving.
See, Matt.
That's what I do. I pull the reins.
You're mean.
I'm always pulling the reins.
Don't let me do what I do.
Rein pulling Weinhold.
All right. So, John, we've got Video Hound's sci-fi experience, which is like videotapes. We have more classics of the horror film, 50 years of great chillers, and also the illustrated Dinosaur movie guide.
I gotta tell you sold the first one. You put the extra hot sauce on it. So let's go with the first one.
I am spinning page.
Please.
Okay, I got it. Left or right?
You're right, please.
Okay. Intruder Within. Ooh. From 1981. Do you guys remember this?
It's a TV movie, right? Yep.
Half-baked thriller about a crew on an isolated oil rig in Antarctica who, while drilling, unearth a nasty creature that goes around terrorizing the frostbitten men, an occasional stray woman made for television.
Is Chad Everett in that?
Chad Everett, Joseph Bottoms, Jennifer Warren.
Wait.
Directed by Peter Carter, and it was on VHS. This is back. Remember when VHS was all the rage?
I remember VHS. Yes,
and so it's like a film was made directly for TV, but then you put it in a box, a VHS box, and put it at Blockbuster, and people go, "Oh, sure. I remember that."
It's basically Alien on an oil rig.
Yeah.
Done on a TV movie budget.
And the funny thing is,
but wait a minute, the stray woman.
Yeah, a stray woman.
What does that even mean?
It says an occasional stray woman. It means
so. Is there more than one stray woman?
They just show up on a rig.
Yeah. Hi guys.
I'm just reading what's in here, but I will say I remember this film.
I answered your ad.
Look, I remember. I mean, back, Alien was all the rage. Oh man, I wanted anything that was Alien. From 1970, Ridley Scott, and this creature looked like the alien. The head was kind of shaped the same. The body had that kind of funky shapes on it, but it was kind of like a ripoff.
Yeah, they have like there's the small version of it, then it grows into a man in a suit. It's alien. It's fun though.
But I would say, look, if you're gonna try to find something to watch on a Saturday night with your significant other, don't go for this one, because it was more a product of the times. It was neat to find on television, but now it's not. I personally wouldn't go out seek it out. But that's my 2 cents.
Okay. I always enjoyed bad VHS movies that you would see at like car washes.
Yeah.
Right. You want, Chad Everett. You can't go wrong with Chad Everett.
Horror icon Chad Everett.
Think about it though. I mean, we're talking about an era which was really exciting. For the longest time, when you watched stuff on TV, you had to look through the TV guide. You weren't sure if you could find it, and now you can actually go to a video rental store, walk down an aisle, and you just look at these boxes. You go, look at that, and you pick it up and you look at it and go, I'm going to rent this. It was a very exciting time.
It was like heaven. You just go through every weekend and find something.
The end of Blockbuster, where you would see big name celebrities in movies, where you'd go, wait, Samuel L. Jackson or Robert De Niro in big movies that only went to VHS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
kind of, or just quickly went to VHS.
The end of DVD too. The end of Blockbuster.
The best thing about the end of Blockbuster was that you would go in there when they were getting rid of all their stuff, and you could buy all their VHS cassettes for really.
I bought a lot of stuff. Yeah,
me too. Yeah.
And then what was great is that the stuff that was left over was stuff that nobody else wanted, but we wanted.
Exactly. Like The Intruder Within.
All right, there you go.
All right, John, nice pick. Matt, your turn.
Okay, so I got 2. Psychotronic, Revenge of the Creature Features Movie Guide.
Gotta go with Revenge.
All right. I was hoping you'd say that.
It's a smaller book.
Well, but it's also a tradition here.
Yes.
That we gotta pick one of these John Stanley reviews because he does hate everything. I don't know why he even wrote the book.
It's frustrating because
to be called "I Hate Movies."
When Matt and I grew up in Northern California, Creature Features on. He was after Bob Wilkins. He was a movie host, horror host, and he had all these monster movies on. But the funny thing is, here he creates this book, and it does seem like sometimes that he doesn't like any of them. But
even stuff where it's like, look, you realize this was a really low budget movie. They could only get John Agar or whatever. But hey, there's some charm to it considering the time. Nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Also, you're also running a book called Revenge of the Creature Features Movie Guide. You think people buying that book are going to want to watch these movies?
No fun allowed. So here we go. Ready?
Hopefully we'll get him on the show, though.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, get that guy.
All right.
Start flipping. Stop.
Okay.
Left side, please.
Oh, my God. What the fuck is this? This is called Rcmp and the Treasure of Genghis Khan.
I have no idea what this is.
Like letters?
R.C.M.P. Okay, I think I understand this now. Canadian Mountie Christopher Royal, his jaw grimly determined, wars with outlaw Mort Fowler over a 13th century treasure containing the secret to liquefying diamonds. It's a seesaw battle to see who will walk the cave of 1,000 tunnels. What the fuck is this? Jim Bannon is the red-coated hero in this truncated version of the Republic serial Dangers of the Canadian Mounted.
It's one of those serial cliffhanger compilations.
Turned into a movie?
Like a Dudley Do-Right thing.
Well, what they would do is that, how like with the Flash Gordon serials, they cut those all down. Each one that they did, they cut them down to I think the first one was called Rocket Ship.
Yeah, or Commando Cody, they did that with. A couple others, they turned them into movies. But it doesn't seem like there's much fantastic
I don't understand.
content in
The
there.
only fantastic content that I can is the secret to liquefying diamonds.
Ooh,
yes.
Wait, you didn't let me
no,
finish.
it's the
There's
thousand tunnels.
The
Yes.
cave of 1,000 tunnels. But since they had to cut it down, there's 11.
That's like
We have so much time.
that's like the cliffs of insanity.
Right.
No, Matt.
It was directed by Fred Brannon and Yakima Canute.
Fred Brannon did a lot of serials, actually.
It was directed by two people.
Well,
because it was a serial, probably.
Because the serial, right? They had to do. Okay, I get
When
it.
did this come out?
This is 1948.
Yakima Canute was pretty well known as being John Wayne's like stunt trainer and stunt double.
I did not know this.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, in
Learn
Western.
something every day in Monster Party.
He's a big name, Yakima Canute.
Okay,
That's-
interesting. Okay.
See?
Oh,
That's trivia.
48. That's kind of like the tail end of the golden age of the serials. I mean, they were kind of that by the 50s they were kind of not too many of them left.
And by the way, I have to disagree with Matt. Matt, I don't think they had 11 tunnels. They just had 2. And it was like entry going in one way and then entry coming the other direction.
Right.
That's basically what it was. Wow, these are like 1,000 tunnels.
Yeah. That if it weren't for that method, there would be no Doctor Who.
Yes.
It's all about redressing a hallway.
Relighting, yeah.
All right,
That's
Tom.
good.
You've seen one tunnel, you've seen them both.
You've seen them all, right? People like running. We've done the research.
So,
all
John,
the quality ones are old Doctor Who. Please stop making the old guy run.
all right, John's got the hammer.
You're going to do the hammer. Okay.
Yes.
From
All right.
Greg Doyle gave me this.
Okay.
The Hammer Vault.
That's a beautiful book.
Yeah.
That's a great book.
James, you'll tell me when to stop.
Are you flipping?
Flipping.
Stop. Your left.
Oh my God. Okay. This is the Scarlet Blade.
The Scarlet
Scarlet
Blade.
Blade.
I think that's one of their. Is that one of their pirate ones?
I don't know this one.
That sounds about right.
It does.
Is that one on the new Hammer DVD set? No.
That was it's also known as the Crimson Blade.
Yeah.
Surprised by the success of the Pirates of Blood River, Hammer casts around for another buccaneering subject.
Yeah. When
It's
King
like a weird compliment. Hey, he's, buccaneering subject. Oh.
all I can tell you is that Oliver Reed is in it. So need we say more?
Oh, really?
Right.
It's answered the call to the Scarlet Blade, an adventure set in the English Civil War.
Interesting. Yeah. The reason I thought that because the Pirates of Blood River is on the Mill Creek Hammer set,
Right.
but not this one though.
Oh, the British brought the rights to the Italian swashbuckler Sons of Captain Blood to play as a co-feature so they could benefit from the box office returns of the entire program.
Oh.
Cool.
Smart.
I haven't seen that one.
Because we did that commentary for that box set, we got the box set. And so now I know, like everyone, we've been going through the films.
Yeah, I'm still going through those. Yeah.
And I love them. I mean,
yeah.
The one thing you have to say about Hammer is that even with very little money, they managed to put it all on the screen.
Yep.
The movies always look good. They're always pretty well acted. Even if it's melodramatic acting, it's like, it's big and bombastic and it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all those actors at some point, they all did Shakespeare, so they're more convincing.
Right.
And
I've enjoyed all of them that I've seen so far.
Yeah, me too.
Even though Hammer's known for horror, they dabbled in every genre.
Right.
Although it wouldn't have been great.
Killed it with a poster, though. Here
The
was the
posters are-
poster for the Scarlet Blade. So
They-
it's a 2-for-1 deal, but neither poster makes you go, I gotta fucking see that.
Well,
But both of them, but together.
Yeah.
Well, and that's also part of the beauty, I think, of this topic is that you never know what your finger's going to point to, and you can get into Comp Floyd territory where it's like, ooh, the scary pirate.
Oliver Reed, ooh, he will drink your booze.
You don't think it's scary to see only with one eye and a patch on the other? Ooh.
Ooh.
Roundheads.
So I have to ask: has anyone seen this film?
No,
I have not.
Okay, so
I do want to now.
Yeah.
but for
Why do you
listeners,
make people go to movies just because they had air conditioning?
That's true. No, but that's true though. People just go, oh, let's go to the movies today. It doesn't matter what was playing. It could have been like a Disney movie or a horror film. Like
I
Sure,
remember
yeah.
doing that in the 90s.
yeah. I mean,
In the late 80s, early 90s, that you're just in a sweaty, horrible apartment because that's all you had.
Right.
And then, too, you could steal movies. So you would hit like 2 or 3 different movies.
Right.
And you were there till midnight.
Exactly.
You could sneak in.
Yeah. So,
of course, I never did that though. I always paid my price.
Good for you.
What a good boy.
All right. So is it back to me?
Back
now?
It is back to you.
All right, John. Which one?
let's go with the other book.
All right. This is the original John Stanley Creature Features movie guide. I am flipping. Say when.
Stop, please.
Okay. Left or right?
You're right.
My right. And we have Munster Go Home from 1966.
Good one.
Classic.
Theatrical feature based on TV's The Munsters with Fred Gwynne, Yvonne DiCarlo, and Al Lewis recreating their video roles as creatures patterned after famous movie monsters. Strictly a TV plot, the Munsters inherit a haunted house and all its problems. Terry Thomas and John Carradine
John
take
Carradine. Is that the second?
That's the first one, I thought, right? The first theatrical film, right?
There was more than one?
I think there were 2, right?
There were 2.
I remember just one.
Yeah, same
there
here.
was just one. Yeah, there were 2.
Monster Go Home.
I'm pretty sure.
I remember I saw this like in the afternoon once on television, and I wasn't paying close attention to it, but I remember one laugh I got out of it. They relocate to England and they're fish out of water. And Eddie Munster goes to Lily, Mom, what are tomatoes? And she goes, well, that's tomato in England. Why do you ask? And he said, well, that's what those kids are throwing at me. That's the only thing I remember from that movie, but I got a laugh out.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, John Carradine and Terry Thomas, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, and you're right that there were other Munster movies, but they were made for TV.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
This one was theatrical.
This was theatrical, yes.
It's the first time you actually saw Herman Munster and everyone in color.
Yes.
I mean, that was a big deal about it.
And I think it was a different Marilyn too, right? It was a different actress who played Marilyn, I think.
Yes.
In this movie.
Tough time.
It's to see the Munsters in color and have them be so bright green. It's just not as good. It's not. It doesn't really work. It
still
makes
enjoyable though.
I enjoyed it, and I like the Munsters, but I just feel like that as a movie, it's the description of it being like a TV plot is correct.
Right.
And that thing could be told, in under an hour easily.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Because it is like when the original show came out, it was specifically parodying the black and white Universal films. And that's why the look of it and all that was.
It just looks so much better.
Yeah.
But my issue is, you had a guy dressed up as like a Frankenstein, and he's all, he's a little too goofy, a little too silly for me, because I like my monsters to be serious. But
so you don't like satire of any type.
Well, no.
So whenever you have a serious thing, and then someone is then making fun of having fun with that thing, that doesn't necessarily ruin the original thing. It's just we're doing a comedy version of that thing. So if someone did a sketch on Jaws, like you'd have a problem with that because that was making fun of Jaws?
It depends. It depends. If it's Saturday Night Live and Richard Dreyfuss decides to be a guest host,
I'd be all right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find your levels. That's all.
Did you used to read, Larry? Did you used to read the MAD magazine?
Yeah. That's a very good point.
I did, and if there was a monster on it, what was that?
It's not a movie, though.
That's right.
Yes.
Because anytime it had a monster on it, I would get it. And I remember there was one that I was a little confused about. It was in 1976 when King Kong came out, and you had the giant King Kong holding little Jessica Lange, as Dwan, and King Kong is looking at her with a confused look, and she's knitting a giant baby booty.
Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah, well, suggestion.
But I always have to check in with you, Larry, because I need because
What
they're
about Monster Squad?
Okay. Yeah. How about Monster Squad?
That's fun. I like that.
You like that?
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Hey, John, he's mad at Frankenberry.
Genuinely mad at him.
Yeah, like he
Still
does
to
not.
this day.
Yes.
He has a problem with that.
There are all the other issues in the world, but he's mad about Frankenberry.
John, when you look at Frankenberry, you look at the top of his head. What does it look like? It looks like a giant butt. He's got a butt.
What do you have wrong with butts?
Yeah.
It's on the Frankenstein monster, and he's pink. He's pink, Sean.
So then you don't like the Tellusians
He's a
from Star
berry.
Trek,
No, because they're very serious.
but they have butt heads. How can you be
all right.
serious with a butt head?
Count Chocula.
He's
More of a
too-
traditional vampire.
Look,
What do you think of him?
Look, this is all great, but
No, I
think
wanna
we're
know.
getting- No, we're getting away from the topic here.
I don't think we are.
I think we are. So
This
John,
topic is why Larry hates everything.
No, that's not true. But John, you picked James, and
Why are
now
you mad at cereal?
It's Sean's turn now. So it's Sean's turn.
Okay.
So why don't you pick a book, Sean? Don't take your time. Just
I
whip it out.
have two psychotronic books.
Just pick one.
How about I go with this one,
Perfect.
John? This is the Psychotronic Video Guide, which is like the sequel to the original. All right, here I go. You tell me when to stop, John.
Stop, please.
Left, right.
Right. You're right.
Oh, okay. Not a great movie, but worth watching once. John Landis's 1992 film Innocent Blood.
Innocent
Oh, yeah.
Blood.
Yeah.
Great cast, but for me at least, overall, it just doesn't work as a whole. It's kind of like horror comedy. I get what they were trying to do. This is like, okay, John, you had a huge hit with American Werewolf in London. Try to do the same thing with vampires this time.
What's the matter, Sean?
Gangsters.
What's the matter, Sean? You don't like comedy with your horror? What's that?
There you go.
Larry, have you seen Innocent Blood?
No, because that's what I heard. I heard it wasn't good.
See, Larry, I base whether I like a movie or not, whether it's I like the movie, not what genre it is or what genre it mixes together. So why don't you see Innocent Blood and then get back to me what you think about this horror comedy?
You're just telling me. You just told me. It's like,
I don't think it's very good. It's not a very good movie.
I mean, John, did he just say?
John,
that?
are you
Larry,
leaving the podcast?
Am I going to waste my time?
Larry, listen to what I'm saying.
But I'm waiting for you to go, oh, this is a great film. Then I'm going to go, oh, Sean really recommends this. But you're not recommending this.
No, it's not very good.
Not good.
Why
I
do I
saw it because Don Rickles was
Larry, let me get this straight, Larry. So if I don't like a movie that's a horror comedy, I don't like it because it's a hybrid horror comedy, or I don't like it because it's not a very good movie.
Well, I respect your opinion. And if you say, it's not very good, then I'm not going to waste my time. I like it when Sean says, I really like this movie. Oh, this is a great movie. That's what I like.
But I
have
agree.
no idea where you're talking about.
John is in his car right now. Like that's how far away he is from the screen.
The movie is like gangsters becoming vampires. You got Don Rickles. You got
Robert Loggia.
There's some really good sequences in it, but overall, it just doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Now, Matt's a big Rickles fan. I mean, have you seen
Yeah,
this?
Rickles is great in it, actually.
Yeah, I like Rickles.
He's not in it that much.
I look.
But
That's not a
American
movie.
Werewolf in London. American Werewolf in London is a great horror comedy, Larry, that I love. This movie I don't like as much. Is there anything?
Let's
unclear
underline
about that?
Mad Monster SmackDown.
Yes. I like how you think because I said horror comedy, I now can't like any horror comedy.
Larry,
But
did
also-
you like American Werewolf in London?
No, he doesn't.
Look,
It's a sacrilege. It's like sacrilegious.
Really?
Like he can't. No, he hates it. He hates it.
I don't hate it.
He doesn't hate it.
I don't.
But he doesn't like it.
You hate that more than I don't like Innocent Blood, though. So how about that?
Hey, all I'm saying.
It'd be great if I was right in Larry's house. Going this way, and I'm with Larry, holding Larry.
all I'm saying is I do like American Werewolf in London. There are some things about it that I have issues with. It's not perfect. I do like the film. So I guess based on Sean's weak recommendation, I guess I'll have to see Innocent Blood.
Larry, if you had to pick one perfect horror movie, what would it be?
Exorcist. Night of the Living Dead.
Creature.
Yeah.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I agree with all those.
But thank you, Sean, for filling us in on that film. And I believe it is my turn now.
Yes, sir.
But I have to say, the comedy in Night of the Living Dead, it doesn't work.
John, how about we go to more classics of the horror film, 50 years of great chillers, okay?
Love it.
I'm paging through.
And stop. I'm going quick.
Okay. Blood of the Vampire. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
This is weird. It's British schlock was a little bigger and sometimes more literate than the Hollywood equivalent, but the end result was much the same. Here, Shakespearean great Donald Wolfett is reduced to playing a mad doctor, and despite the title, there are no vampires in the film.
True. He's more like a mad doctor who's experimenting with blood and taking people's blood. That kind of thing.
This pisses me off.
Why didn't they just call it Mad Doctor?
If I see a title that says Blood of the Vampire, I expect to see a freaking vampire.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's bullshit.
That was a movie that was kind of trying to masquerade as a Hammer film, but it wasn't.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
It does have a very memorable hunchback servant, though.
Yeah.
Who has this? It's like your classic kind of hunchback guy with like the eyeball lowered on his face. It's kind of a classic.
Doesn't that eye on him look like the eye that you got with, remember the Dick Smith makeup kit?
Yes.
You could get,
Yeah.
and you could get the lowered eye, and it was Flex Flesh.
Yeah.
Remember that stuff?
Oh, the
And it
flex
looked really,
flesh.
Yeah, and it looked really good when you put it on, but
if you did it right,
if you wore it too long, it would start to melt even more. Oh, there you go. But you gotta lower it, Larry.
Yeah.
It's gotta be like where your cheek is.
I'm sorry. This is from the Imagineering set from like the 70s. It's
cool.
the glow in the dark eye with the bloodshot.
It glows in the dark.
Yeah. It made Vic Dunlap millions.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
but Blood of the Vampire.
Taxes on it. And
that's right.
Yeah,
Vic Dunlap. Yeah, this comedian used to do this whole bit with, hey, I put these in, and and he had a million jokes about what he would do wearing these eyes, and then he would sell them after the show, but he never reported them to the IRS.
10 years, and then he got nailed.
And they hit him big time because he made a lot of money on those things.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, so let us all learn a lesson from this.
Yeah, report your crazy eyes.
File it to get a 1099 or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was not familiar with this film, but
it's been around. It's like a very generic title. Barbara Shelley is in it. Barbara Shelley's in it, so it's another thing that you think of as a Hammer film because Barbara Shelley's in it, but it's
right.
not. But
I mean, it looks fairly good.
It's okay. It's a late night pastime passer.
It's a bore. It's a giant bore.
All right.
Wow.
So
It's
we will.
like this. When did you guys start bailing? Because I always felt you had to watch a movie to the end. So
Me too.
We're talking about. When would you bail on this movie?
I never.
Well, as a kid, never
bail. Never. It doesn't matter
because it was on.
Not just as a kid.
Never.
I will pretty much sit through anything.
But John, the true test is James Gonis, Mr. I'll walk out of a film.
Walks out of every movie.
When things were on TV, how long would you watch before you said
15 minutes. 15 minutes.
On TV. And then what would you do?
And you watch a Robert Altman movie.
Yes, change the channel. Watch Huckleberry Hound. I don't know. Bewitched.
See, John, for me, I always thought that you keep watching, because maybe something at the end, there's going to be something.
Yeah.
I always waited. I've waited. I mean, like Matt and Sean said, when it was on, I'm there.
But you usually get bitterly disappointed. Waste of time.
No, it's a victory to me because I got through it and I remember that movie. It's
Victory.
because it is though. Because like I felt as an obligation as a kid too because it's a horror movie or a sci-fi movie, and this is back again when I might never ever see this again. I have to see this all the way through. Who knows when it'll show up again?
But James, what if it's the it's a movie you don't like 15 minutes in, it's not really grabbing you, and you change the channel. So on the other side, it's Hazel. Yeah. And then you're like, why is it you'd rather watch Hazel? Because I hated Hazel.
Why'd you hate Hazel?
Hazel was terrible.
It was always on though. It seemed like
it was always Family Affair. It's like that kind of shit. Terrible.
Family Affair was awesome.
But
oh my.
Okay.
It was always on, but I never got into it really.
Like, no, it was terrible.
Green Acres, Petticoat Junction.
Green Acres I liked. Green Acres was better.
Okay, yeah. but James, the thing that gets me is, look, when I started to watch the film The Fool Killer, and it took forever and ever, and I'm waiting for that fool killer to show up. Eventually, maybe he'll show up, and I get to the end, the fool killer never shows up. It was like this big scam through the whole film, and I felt ripped off. But I never have to see the fool killer again because I've watched it all once, and I remember it like it was yesterday.
I didn't have to watch it once. I'm like, all right, it's all good.
But Sean has a point of you might never see this again.
Yeah.
There were so many things. It's not like you could, rent it or find it online.
I mean, now it's different. It's true for younger generation. It's true. Now you have everything at your fingertips. You can easily watch the 5 minutes of everything and never watch a full movie. But back then it was like, I felt like, my God, this is my opportunity. I have to stay. I have to watch this.
Well, look. You guys win because now you have this encyclopedic knowledge of these obscure movies.
Maybe that's what it is too. Because
you can talk, till the cows come home about Family Affair and Hazel.
But you're right, James.
And we'll do that, and maybe that's another podcast.
But James, you're right. We win. You're right. You win.
I bow to your knowledge.
Whatever. Whatever we did, whatever we accomplished.
So let us move on. Let us move on.
All right.
Person. Yeah, Matt.
So,
Psycho.
That Psychotronic Encyclopedia film by Michael Weldon was I think my very first guidebook.
Yeah, I love this thing. And this edition is my favorite too.
Yes,
which is the first edition.
How many editions of that book are there?
There's just two. Well, there's the second one, the video guide. He never made a third one now.
But they revised it a couple times.
I think so.
And I think that as they revised it, this one has the best pictures, and I just like the whole layout of it. It's great.
Yep.
And it's also broad exploitation. It's not just horror sci-fi.
Yeah, it's biker films. It's everything.
So guys, folks, ladies and gentlemen, people listening, you might get a kind of genre adjacent film.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
So here we go. And I'm going to start flipping when you tell me.
Flip. Stop, please. Your left.
What the fuck is this?
You always pick the strangest one.
This is called The Finks.
Oh my God, that's classic.
The PHYNX.
Matt, you have to see this movie.
Okay, this is
DVD.
This is 1970. It was written by SHAWN SHERIDAN. No, I'm sorry. Directed by Lee M. Katzin. And it's about an athlete, a campus militant, a Negro model, and an American Indian are picked by a computer shaped like a woman to form a rock group called the Finks and go on tour in Albania, where American show business people have been kidnapped by communists.
Matt, it's the perfect double feature with Tomorrow. You have to see it. You have to see it.
I did not know this existed.
It's like this groovy, crazy, psychedelic 60s. It's like the monkey. It's like, let's form the monkeys and send them into this foreign country to rescue all the celebrities that have been kidnapped. It's insane. Michael Ansara is the bad guy. There's tons of cameos by
Johnny Weissmuller,
Leo Gorcey and Hunts Hall.
Yes, Maureen O'Sullivan.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh my God, Ed Sullivan.
It's actually some fun.
Xavier Cugat,
Dick Clark,
Richard Pryor,
Andy Devine,
Harold Oddjob Sakata, George Jessel, and Rona Barrett.
I've
Yeah.
never.
It's an oddity. It was a huge bomb, but it's like a Tomorrow, or like a Skidoo kind of. It's like that.
Wait a minute. Okay, so in this entry it says, "Want more?" Meaning want more cameos here. Why not? Patty of the Andrew Sisters, Edgar Bergen, Busby Berkeley, Guy Lombardo. Holy fuck! Rudy Valley, Marilyn Maxwell. Jesus Christ! Did they just like raid a show business home?
Yeah, it's insane. I think it's Warner Archives that put it out.
James Brown.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Oh
So-
my god!
Fantastic in its insanity. Yes.
To get Pryor and James Brown there.
Yeah.
I don't.
No,
I don't.
everybody was on
wow.
cocaine. It was 1970. It's great. It's great though. You gotta watch it.
I would like to see that right now.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Fade out into.
How does it compare to the Apple, Sean?
It's
I
kind
mean,
of
is it
like that, but
musical?
70s. So it's more like we're talking like Monkeys, Skidoo
Right.
kind
No,
of
I'm
territory.
with you. I'm with you. Okay.
You know, but it's fun though, and there's a couple pretty good songs actually in it too.
I'm not aware of this one.
No.
That is
We could do a whole
incredible.
show on that kind of stuff, like weird.
Oh, I thought you said we could do a whole
Bizarre
show on the Sphinx. Just
Yeah, or that.
And there are a lot of rock and roll movies that have genre elements to them as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
nice one. All right. Well,
Great.
that's good.
Thank you,
Yeah.
John, for
John?
picking gold for me.
So, John, why don't you whip out your Hammer horror?
Or now you can also pick one of our books too if you want.
Yeah, you don't always go to Hammer. If
You don't have
Let's
to.
go back to Matt's Psycho book again. And
Okay.
let's pull
Go
another
for
one.
it.
I want to go a little further in.
Okay.
Go from the back and we'll go quick. Ready?
All right.
Start. Go. Start. Right side.
Okay. Mobs Incorporated.
Mobs
That sounds fun.
Incorporated.
This is a Hal Roach Jr. production. William Asher, 1956, black and white. Listen in as Reed Hadley lectures the young men of the Los Angeles Police Academy on the wiles of confidence men. These three unrelated bunco cases may have been lifted from the Racket Squad series on which they're based. 1. A taxi dancer. A taxi dancer? What is
What's
a taxi dancer? It says a taxi dancer and racketeer pose as a writer-photographer team to gain access to a wealthy man's home. 2. A glamour queen takes in $40,000 through a stock swindle. 3. Townspeople help a young arthritis victim fix up a $1,750 farm, then buy it back for $50,000 after the man claims to have discovered miracle spring waters. Wow.
Interesting.
Wow.
It sounds
It's just like a hard-hitting crime drama.
yeah, it's crime and like
Crime.
these are 3 reasons why crime doesn't pay, or maybe it does.
Right. That's good.
You know what? I want to see it. I think I need to see the Finks first.
I'm with the Sphinx. The Sphinx.
I'm telling you, right?
Thanks.
Watch it tonight. Find it.
I've so far of all that we've talked about, this one has just
Yeah.
aroused my curiosity the most.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, that cast. I still can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
All right, good one. All right,
Very
James,
good.
it's your turn now. John, why
All
don't you
right.
tell him have him pick a book there?
The encyclopedia?
Yeah, let's go
or-
back to the encyclopedia.
Back to the encyclopedia. Okay. Flipping, say
Stop,
when.
please.
Right or left?
Right.
Right. It's going to be The Horror of Frankenstein from 1970, Hammer Films.
Classic.
Horror Frankenstein.
Horror Frankenstein.
Ralph Bates, Kate O'Mara, Graham James, Veronica Carlson, Bernard Archer, Dennis Price, Joan Rice, and David Prowse.
Yes.
That was like the third one, maybe third
Yeah.
or fourth.
Yeah. It's
It was
it's
later.
not a great movie.
Is that
Wait,
the
right.
one where
It's kind of
David
comedic.
Prowse- Is that the one where David Prowse kind of has the square-shaped
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
that one.
But it's
Okay.
not where he looks pretty clean. It's not
Right,
the
right,
Evil
I-
of Frankenstein is the one where they had the full-on flat top.
right.
That was the first
right.
time they used that design. This one, his head's kind of that shape, but is more of a
Yeah.
flesh tone. He looks less like a monster.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right. It is more. They did more. They try to kind of almost parody it. kind of parodying Curse of Frankenstein.
Yeah, I always enjoy Ralph Bates.
Yeah, I love him. He's great.
Yeah.
And so I like the movie for that. It's not a great movie, but
Dennis Price.
I got to admit, I like it for Kate O'Mara because in the books that I had when I was a kid, and I would see some of these pictures, I thought she was really impressive. I was just like, wow, she's really gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then, you know, in the film as well, and she showed up in an episode of like Ab Fab in the 90s. Like, she aged really well.
She's kind of like Adrienne Corey. That's another actress who I thought was really interesting actress. She's in Hammer stuff. She's in Clockwork Orange. She's the rape victim in that. But like interesting actresses, you know, that really stand out or memorable.
Well, and you know, Hammer glamour. I mean, sometimes it's just like, whoa, you know, it's just full color, and they're you know wearing these bodices. And when you're a young teenage kid, it's like, hey, wow.
Yes, it's so true.
Yeah, I remember thinking she was so incredibly hot in that movie.
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
She is.
And in Ab Fab, she plays Patsy's sister.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And
hilarious,
well.
great, really good, and still very, very beautiful, I thought.
Yeah. Any of these movies, like you always remember it was based on a Poe short or anything. And did any of these movies make you go, I got to read Poe?
Well, sometimes they're so loosely based, you know, or sometimes not based at all, and they just use the Poe name.
Like as a kid, I would always go to the source material of everything.
Right.
But all these Poe things, all the Vincent Price things, all the things, I never went, I got to read some Poe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say probably the only one would be House of Usher, because I always felt like that had the creepiest feel from the movies, from the Corman movies initially, because that was the first one I saw too.
Right.
I knew that Mask of the Red Death was two stories put together.
Right.
And I think by the time I saw that film, which is probably my favorite Corman Poe film, I had already read those stories.
Me too. I think most of the stories I had already read by the time I saw a lot of the Corman stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, that's good.
All right. Okay.
There you go.
Moving on. All right. So how about we do the Dinosaur movie guide? Okay.
Done.
I'm going to open it up. I'm paging through and tell me to stop. Okay. Left or right? Left. The Stone Age Error.
What?
Error.
1930, directed by John Foster. It's a cartoon short featuring two Stone Age cave mice looking suspiciously like Walt Disney's Mickey and Minnie, who are married by a dinosaur minister. This was one of a number of Aesop's sound fables produced by Van Buren between 1929 and 1934. So I'm guessing they were somewhat of a competitor to Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney. And
right.
Yeah, so I'm not familiar with this. The Stone Age Error from 1930. Does anyone know this one?
Oh, no.
No.
No, I don't think I've ever seen that. No.
Because I'm curious. I'd like to see if I can find that on YouTube. But there's a bunch of like early animated dinosaur stuff. Like there's Gertie the Dinosaur.
Gertie, right?
You know, that we all
that's
know.
A classic.
And then Daffy and the Dinosaur, isn't there?
Daffy and the Dinosaur. I mean, there were a bunch, but this is from 1930. I mean, that was a while ago. So anyway, but look, we learned something new. Two prehistoric mice that look like Mickey and Minnie. Who knew?
And this series of movie guides, he did the Frankenstein movie guide, he did the Werewolf movie guide, and he's very thorough. And then he will include like short films, independent films, movies that were never officially released. So there's a lot of trivia in there.
Okay. The one interesting thing I will say about this particular book too is because it's a dinosaur guide, he rates everything by putting like a number of dinosaurs. Like, for example, the film She from 1935, he rates it 4 dinosaurs. This one, the Stone Age Error, only, that's what She, 4 dinosaurs.
The original from the 30s, right?
The original. Yeah. But Stone Age Error only gets a dinosaur and a half.
Oh.
So have you got
T-Rex or what kind of dinosaur is it?
Oh, a brontosaurus. It's a brontosaurus.
Have you guys seen the 30s version of She?
I think I did a long time ago, but I don't really remember too much about it. But I remember it being a pretty elaborate production.
Is there a dinosaur in it?
That's one thing about that author is that anything even remotely connected, like if it's a dinosaur book, anything that's in a prehistoric age or has like for werewolves, it could be, he would include anything that's animal.
It says here, this was considered a lost film for many years. It's like main character leads an expedition to the hidden land of Kor in the Arctic Circle, complete with a frozen giant saber-toothed tiger.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so
it sounds like the Savage Land from the Marvel universe.
Was that Khazar?
Anyway, so that's
yeah.
So that's kind of like that's two. Okay, She from 1935. But there you go, a couple little dinosaur things. Okay,
all right.
Cool.
Sean, it's your corner now.
All right, I'm gonna try this. I don't think I've used this before. This is the Phantom's Ultimate Movie Guide.
Ooh.
By the Phantom of the Movies. He was guy put out the stuff. So here we go. Ready? Tell me when, John.
Stop. Ooh.
You know, this is a good one that I haven't seen in a long time. I got to see it again. 1974, John Carpenter, Dark Star.
Oh, Dark Star.
I love Dark Star.
I watched it recently.
Really? Yeah. It's you know, it's these guys who these kind of like hippie kind of dudes in the spaceship traveling the galaxy, getting rid of unstable planets or unstable suns, right?
It's their job.
And they had this very intelligent computerized bomb on the ship.
Well, all of the bombs are. They're all
right. They're all like intelligent. They kind of can talk to you and say, okay, and they send these bombs out to destroy these unstable planets, kind of like a HAL 9000 thing.
But isn't it? It's a kind of thing where it's like, whoa, you know, they get the bomb ready, the bomb's all ready to go, it's all psyched, and whoa, not this one, and then the bomb gets upset. So wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
And then like this happened a few times, and the bomb gets kind of pissed off because they're preventing the bomb from doing his job, or her job.
It's really fun.
It's very clever. I thought
it is. I mean, and they got this very unique alien, which is like this kind of beach ball creature with hands.
Yeah,
and,
it's like creature hands, aren't they? They look like creature from the Black Lagoon hands.
Yeah, but it's like literally a movie done for like $500.
Yeah,
it's well done.
Dan O'Bannon is surprisingly funny.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's in the cast. Yeah. One of the things I always remember about that film is that there's an elevator scene, and the elevator is clearly something that's on a floor that they're moving up and down a hallway.
Yeah,
and. You know, as much as you try to suspend your disbelief, it's like, that's a hallway, guys. This was originally started as a student film.
It was a USC project.
USC,
Yes, and that they, got some more money and they made this thing into a feature. And I think that if I had seen this in the theater, I'd be a little upset, a little bit. Yeah. Because it really does look like a student film. It looks like a great student film.
Well, it's the same. It's the same thing that was done with Equinox. Hollywood producer Jack Harris saw Equinox, gave them a little bit more money, and then made it into a feature film. He did the same thing with Carpenter's short film Dark Star.
But I will say this. I mean, the first time I saw it, I was a kid. I saw it on Creature Features. To me, I thought it was very poetic how the film ends, which I don't want to give away. And also, it is neat that it is a low budget film. To me, it did hold my interest through the whole thing, and I thought it was very clever. And imagine Bob Wilkins used to say, when you watch this film, watch it like it was yours, like you made this, and sometimes that's how you do. And you see these things, and I know, Matt, maybe it seems like it's a little cheap in some areas, but it's like, but if I tried to replicate some of these things with my little Super 8 films, and so I
like it more now than when I first saw it.
Yeah,
I respect it, and again, what I'm saying is that, like, as a student film, it's fantastic, and what they do and how they, try to do their best with the costumes and the scenery and the cockpit of the ship. And there's some really great ideas, and I love the ending too. I think it's great, but I think when I first saw it, it was like, what? what is this?
yeah. Because he had done, Carpenter had done a lot of other little shorts before that. But yeah, this is the one that kind of got his attention. He got theatrically released.
Yeah.
And then 2 years later, he made Assault on Precinct 13. So there's no turning back after that.
I absolutely recommend this, though.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I do too. James?
I've never seen Dark Star. I need to see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think you'd like it.
Yeah.
I think with stuff like that, as you get older, you just respect that they put the work in, and then you know, how did a guy out of college just do this?
Right.
You know, it's one thing to say,
so
"Oh, that's so easy." That's so easy. You're right, because unless you actually go through it yourself, you really have no idea what it takes to make a feature-length film, and on a shoestring budget. So I enjoyed it. I recommend it too. Nice one.
Yeah.
So Matt, it's your turn.
So I would like to pick one of Sean's books, if that's okay. I want to check with the Dungeon Master.
Okay.
If that works.
Which book do you want?
John Matta, is that okay with you?
Yes.
Okay. I want to do the apocalyptic films one.
Yeah, this is a great book. This is a hardcover book on like apocalyptic film, like everything, like even remotely apocalyptic.
Wow. I love this type of movie.
A lot of weird, obscure stuff in here.
This is the first time you've brought this book to the SmackDown.
It is, yes.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
He's allowed to leave his home.
Okay, so tell me when.
Thank God, COVID.
I'm sorry.
Are you going to tell me when to stop, Matt? Okay.
No, I think I'm going to let Mr. Matta. Matt, he found the Finks.
I got
so maybe there's another one in there.
Okay, ready? Here I go. Tell me when, John.
Stop.
Side.
Your left.
Ooh, this is a good one, actually. 1990, The Bronx Warriors.
Oh, my
You know this one? I love this one, actually.
The Bronx Warriors?
Yeah, it's
fucking awful.
82 Italian ripoff of Escape from New York / Mad Max, and it's basically it's like Italian-made grindhouse picture. Has a lot of foul language and tough-looking guys riding their motorcycles around the Bronx after an apocalypse.
Yeah.
The
lead is probably the least charismatic actor of all time.
Yeah, his character name is Trash, I believe. It's like there's like it's a tough gang, and like the corporation's trying to take over like the Bronx, and it's all like a wasteland.
Right.
Corporation wants to take it over, and the daughter of one of the corporate heads has gotten lost in the Bronx, so like they're using her as leverage. But I mean, it's fun, and there was a sequel too called Escape from the Bronx, I think. But they're all. I mean, they're exactly.
I saw this in the theater.
Yeah.
And I was so fucking pissed off by the
Really?
end of this movie. I hated this fucking movie.
Really?
Oh my God!
Vic Morrow is in it.
Terrible. Well, and every time that guy starts speaking, and he makes speeches too. We of the Bronx, we live in code over there. And look, when I saw it, I think I wanted Escape from New York.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Now I'm sure if I saw it now, we saw it at your place, and we're having some cocktails.
Yeah, that's
it would be loads of fun.
Yeah, that's.
But back then, I was a little too close to it. And Vic Morrow, I remember there's a lot of shots of him just standing in a room laughing maniacally.
Yeah, you got Vic Morrow, you got Fred Williamson, George Eastman, Mark Gregory is the guy who plays Trash, and he returns in Escape from the Bronx too.
Oh my God, they gave him another job.
But these movies are Enzo Castellari is the filmmaker. He makes tons of these, Italian post-apocalyptic films. But it's kind of quintessential Italian '80s post-apocalyptic stuff. So
it was rated R, right?
Yeah. Although to be honest, despite that, it's actually not that super like violent and gory. You'd think it would be for the subject matter. The sequel is actually a little more gory and violent.
It's funny that you picked this movie because in the past year or so, every once in a while, I've thought of this movie.
Really?
I don't know why, but it's a childhood memory. I remember.
Yeah.
Child, but a memory of your youth, going to the movies and thinking you were going to get something, and then you got something entirely different. And I just remember that guy. I remember Trash and how bad he was. I was just like, wow, there was an audition. And this guy got it.
Yeah.
You know,
and there's also,
But he's kind of so bad and sticks out so much that he becomes kind of compelling to watch.
I'm sure it would be hilarious now. And I wouldn't mind actually seeing it at your house.
He would be perfectly at home in some like disco movie or something, like some, doing, some disco film or something.
Yeah. Talking about Blockbuster, I mean, there's also a kind of nostalgia for like the 70s and 80s when, I mean, today these movies would never be shown in a theater. There'd be no distribution for
No,
it.
you're right.
But back then you'd see the commercials.
Absolutely. I mean, we talked about, on our Confessions of a Film Projectionist. I mean, I saw Escape from the Bronx and I saw these in the theater, I mean, it's,
The whole Golden Globus distribution thing, it's like, you don't know what's going to end up in your theater and you're going to see these commercials and you're in high school or college. You're like, what fine? I got nothing else to do on a Friday night. And then you end up watching this piece of shit.
Yeah.
All right. So, John, now I think it's your turn to pick something from what you've got.
Pick from one of our books or whatever you want.
Yeah. I want to do another Hammer from you.
Okay, Hammer.
Yeah, go for it.
Maybe we'll get The Old Dark House.
What's that?
And stop.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh no, you're not going to enjoy this.
Oh.
Captain Clegg.
You got another pirate movie.
Another
That's
pirate
hilarious. How do you keep getting pirate?
Horror of the ugly duckling left audiences cold, and the Damned struggled to reconcile its science fiction aspects with the more realistic elements in its plot. Experiments in mixing genres were unusual at Hammer and rarely successful. The most notable exception to this rule was Captain Clegg, an adaptation of Russell Thorndike's smuggling adventure, Dr. Sin, A Tale of Romney Marsh.
You know what? I know that because this is under a different title, a very misleading title that makes you think it's a horror film called Night Creatures.
Yes.
And Peter Cushing is in it, Oliver Reed, Michael Ripper, and you think, it's going to be a great horror film with werewolves and vampires. No.
Okay. This is another movie.
This is weird. The plug was almost pulled when Walt Disney Productions claimed exclusive rights to the Russell Thorndike stories.
Scarecrow of Romney Marsh, right?
Yeah.
I remember seeing this on Creature Features, and in the opening scene, there's a bunch of skeletons riding skeleton horses.
Yeah, they're like, yes. And I've seen that photo too.
I did see this.
Yeah.
I did see this.
And I remember
this is going to be great.
This is going to be great.
Yeah.
And then you find out they're fake. And then it's like, But years later, I have revisited this film and I do like it.
And now I'd like to see it again because I'm curious. Yeah. And Disney's Scarecrow of Romney Marsh is fantastic.
That's a pretty cool poster.
Yeah, I remember the image. Yeah, you're right. I have to revisit that because now I probably will appreciate it. I mean, Peter Cushing's in it,
I mean, you got a great cast. You've got Oliver Reed once again.
Yeah.
Oliver Reed is like, for me, I like garlic salt on almost anything. And Oliver Reed is my cinematic garlic salt.
Yeah, it's true.
You drop Oliver Reed into something, I'm there. Anything.
Yeah.
He is wonderful to watch. He's unpredictable. He's, just very charismatic.
And an uncredited Kate O'Mara.
Oh my gosh, really?
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow, there you go.
And Yvonne Romain.
His window
Yep.
work got smaller and smaller as he got older. That, he can act for about 12 minutes today.
Right.
Nice one, John.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
James, your turn.
Pick another pirate movie.
This one, we'll go back to the John Stanley movie guide here.
Okay.
All right. Flipping. Say when. All right. Left or right?
Right.
It's going to be The Immortal from 1969. Quinn Martin.
Is that a TV show?
Production for TV is a frightful mangling of James Gunn's fine novel. You will hardly recognize the original in this variation on The Fugitive.
It's
Christopher George.
Christopher George, yeah.
Possesses special blood sought by dying millionaire Barry Sullivan and it becomes nothing more than quick escapes, car chases, and other action hogwash. The
I think it
Immortal
was like a short-lived series, one season. Yeah,
became a series, but it had tired blood and was short-lived, being all too mortal. Directed by Joseph Sargent.
Huh.
There you go.
Yeah, I'd always heard about that show, but I've never seen it.
Yeah,
I don't know it.
Our generation also grew up on a Quinn Martin production, where at the end of a
Absolutely.
Quinn Martin production, you would see the trademark. You knew it was a Quinn Martin production because of the narration.
Yeah.
Tonight's
Nice.
episode,
A Quinn Martin production.
a recipe for terror.
And weren't there? Didn't they always have chapters?
I think so. Yeah.
And the last one was always epilogue.
The lady
Right.
love.
Right.
Wow.
Took off a little from Dragnet, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
John, I'm going to do more classics of the horror film. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so I am paging through.
And stop, please.
And what side?
Left, please.
Okay. From 1933, another animated film, King Clunk. King Clunk.
Got me already.
This is a classics of the horror film?
Yeah. Check this out, guys. I'm not familiar with this, and I'm a Kong fan. King Clunk is obviously a satire of King Kong with the same continuity and highlights the giant ape's attack on the native village guarded by a huge gate, his rejection of the traditional native sacrifice in place of a more exciting blonde, a fight with Tyrannosaurus Rex, his escape from the snow place, and final toppling from the Empire State Building. One wonders why RKO didn't object to this flagrant violation of the copyrighted story.
Wow.
Since it is merely copies in cartoon form, it is not nearly as effective a piece of satire as was Warner's outrageous wartime Coal Black and Decebentors. Yep. Anyway, so I am not familiar with this, but it's called King Clunk, and the picture that they have in the book is really interesting. He almost looks like a big wolf, but
And this was a short?
it's animated short from 1933.
How does it make you manage to choose two shorts from the 30s?
Yeah.
Animated.
Hey man,
Wow.
it's the luck of the draw. Okay,
That's crazy.
I don't know. But
It's your night.
the funny thing about it, I'm not familiar with this. You know,
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know about that. Yeah.
If
Well,
it was a pirate movie from the 30s, the internet would just stop.
Well, the thing
Just
that's
go to a little dot, like old timey TV.
the thing that surprised me is, there some of the animated like King Kong things. There was a classic Fleischer Superman
Oh yeah,
episode
yeah.
with a King Kong like
Esque. Yeah.
I think I've got that on 16 somewhere.
Yeah,
That's
and it's beautiful, but I'm not familiar with this one. So anyway,
Interesting. Yeah.
thanks, John. All right, Sean, your turn.
Okay. I think I'll do. How about horror films from the 80s this time?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, exciting.
Oh,
Okay.
great cover.
I remember that time.
Yes.
No.
Okay, John, you can tell me when to stop.
Good, please. Stop.
Okay.
I think you're right. You're looking at right.
Yeah. Because this is the only one. This is a pretty bad movie. God, I don't remember anything about this movie. From what year? 1987, maybe. Jaws: The Revenge.
Oh.
James, isn't this one of your favorite films?
This really is. Talk about a wow. I mean,
This is the fourth one?
yes. Because
Fourth
if you thought 3D one was bad, yeah, right. I mean, James, you probably know a lot about that. I mean, all I remember is like Lorraine Gary as the wife in the original.
Yes.
They bring her back.
She finally gets a chance to get top billing.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, wasn't it supposed to be that not only all her kids, but also Roy Scheider's character Brody died?
Yes.
When the movie starts, they're all killed off screen by sharks before the movie starts, right? Like
yeah. There's a picture of the Brody home, and there's like Roy Scheider's portrait in a frame, and the kids are all,
I thought you were going to say there was a big shark-shaped hole in the door.
land shark. Yeah.
It was just such the last gasp of that franchise.
What I remember about this movie is two things. I do know that it's kind of famous because Michael Caine is in it, and wasn't it like he won a supporting actor award
that same year,
and he couldn't be there because he was making Jaws: The Revenge. and the other thing I remember is like the shark literally would get out of the water and roar like a lion, like it was like and it was so you know what you learn from the first Jaws, because they had so much problems with it, don't show it that much. And they show it a lot in this one, and it looks terrible.
Well,
it's
awful. Well, look, in defense of that decision, though, I mean, how many people have come face to face with a great white shark? Maybe they do roar like that. Of course, now we know better. Yeah,
I think they knew by that point. But you got
Universal. You know.
Yeah. Mario Van Peebles is in it, and
I remember that.
I literally don't remember anything about. I remember, nothing.
The catchphrase,
anything.
The tagline. That's what I remember, which is this time it's personal.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
right.
because
I think Tom Kenny used to have a bit about it.
Really?
Yeah, where he talked about, and he was the shark, and he's at the bottom of the ocean going, you know what? I am really pissed. I'm just pissed. You know what? It's personal this time.
That's great. And that was an unfortunate sequel, a completely unnecessary sequel.
But it is back to the original universe, right? Of the Jaws universe, because the third one takes place almost, right?
I think they still vaguely reference like there was a great white in Amityville a couple of years back. I think there's something like that.
The third one was Dennis Quaid playing the older son.
Oh, that's
what it is?
You're right. Yeah.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
And then in Jaws: The Revenge, the younger son gets killed off first, I think.
And then the dog gets killed, and
I don't think I ever made it. I'm pretty sure I didn't make it past 2.
Yeah, well,
Jaws 2.
Just third one is like kind of like mesmerizingly bad because it's so weird. But Jaws: Revenge is kind of hard to get through. Yeah.
Okay.
I think regarding Michael Caine, people have questioned, God, how could you do such a terrible movie? And he said that he was actually happy with it because he goes, look, he said, look, my house. That came from Jaws: The Revenge. I mean, was happy to do it.
That's true.
And most of it,
please keep talking like Michael Caine.
There was like an interview with Dustin Hoffman where they would all say that they would make fun of Michael Caine and all the bad movies he made, and then Dustin Hoffman said, "Hey, I'm looking at his career now and my career. We made about the same amount of good and bad movies."
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I remember,
guys got to work.
I remember seeing Dustin Hoffman and Warren Beatty being interviewed about Ishtar. And at the time, it was like the most expensive film ever made. And that these guys were getting the biggest paycheck ever. And Dustin Hoffman, I remember I just thought he just seemed like such a nice, goes, it's none of our business how much they want to pay us. And I'm like, no, it was a terrible script. You could see it from the script. It's like, you're just looking at it as like, oh, this is a great acting challenge. You just saw it as this is a great paycheck. And I think originally the roles were supposed to be switched.
Oh, really?
It was supposed to be, in the film, Dustin Hoffman was supposed to be the suave, sophisticated guy. It was supposed to be Beatty, but they decided to switch because they thought it would be funny.
Has anybody watched that movie recently?
I think the first 20 minutes is a really funny movie.
I don't know if I even saw it all the way through. Do you remember though, was it like maybe the late 90s or early 2000? There's like this like kind of like hipster movement where like Ishtar was like really funny now, and like we're gonna show it at midnight, and all the hipster people watching it. It's actually really an underrated gem, and I remember this. It was like Cinefamily we were running it, and like it was like what?
No,
I mean,
I've read a lot of stuff that says you must watch this movie again now, and
I know
reassessed because it really is good.
See,
I don't know. I've never seen it.
I haven't sat through it either, but from what I understand, there's supposed to be songwriters, a songwriting team.
Yeah, right.
The songs in the film were actually written by Paul Williams.
Right, yeah.
And my understanding is they're actually clever and funny, and that's kind of the main reason to see it.
I think I've seen parts of it on cable back in the day.
I've seen parts of it, yeah.
Yeah, I do probably want to see it again.
I worked at a movie theater.
Uh-oh. Really?
That came out.
Oh my gosh.
And
were you like going, I wish they were monsters?
No, because it wasn't it was a theater chain. It wasn't at the theater that I worked at. So, I remember all the hype, and I went to see it. And at the end of the film, the funny thing about it is you have two of the biggest stars at the time.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of money spent on it, guys. It looks great. It's beautiful shot, but it's like it's just not funny. It's just not good. And the two guys, it was ridiculous.
Was this around the same time that Dick Tracy was made too?
No.
That was after, right?
That was after.
Yeah. Okay.
Tracy was after, which which you say what you want. I liked what they were trying to do. I liked the look of it.
Dick Tracy, you mean?
Yeah. But anyway, I'm sorry. I digress.
No problem. That was fun.
A double or a triple. Dick Tracy. It was. They tried. They tried something.
They tried.
Yeah.
I admire the attempt. Yes.
Me too. Yeah. There are sections and bits I really do enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's sort of like, the Michael Keaton, Tim Burton Batman had come out and had done really, really well. So, okay,
exactly.
Here's a treatment with another Danny Elfman score, and you're going to make it really pop and colorful with these clearly artificial landscape and
and that's the
those
thing.
lines that work.
Yeah, it's just like with Creepshow, what they do with that movie in terms of lighting and style. I felt like Dick Tracy was one of those things that's like, look, you either go along with this or you don't.
Exactly.
If you don't, and I did not enjoy the color scheme, but at least they tried. At least they tried to have their own vision, and and I admire that. It's just it wasn't really for me.
That's another one I kind of want to see again, to be honest.
What
Al Pacino is genuinely funny in that.
That I do remember.
Bring up a really interesting thing, Matt. The neat thing about Creepshow that I kind of liked is whether they had that colorful thing stuff. It was like a comic book. You had these short little installments.
Yeah.
When you look at Dick Tracy, Dick Tracy was like a comic book that was stretched out for 2 hours. And I'm wondering if you look at the film, it maybe would have been better if they did like 3 separate stories of the Dick Tracy character building up with the relationship with the girl. But
did you guys ever see the 1940s series of Dick Tracy movies? They're pretty good.
Okay.
They're the most famous one is Dick Tracy Meets Gruesome with Boris Karloff as Gruesome.
Oh yeah.
They're kind of fun actually. They're always with different. Ralph Byrd is in most of them, but a couple different actors played. There's like about 5 or 6 movies all done in the 40s, and they're pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Sean, do you feel like the Warren Beatty one was almost like an homage to those, where it's like you're not really supposed to treat this as a prestige project? It's almost like a B movie with an A movie budget.
Kind of, but to me, the Warren Beatty film was like trying to do the cartoon from the 60s or something, which I did like the cartoon.
Well, they needed the dog then.
Yeah.
The animated talking dog.
That's true. But no, but the 40s films are more like film noir movies. They're and they're kind of violent and kind of, they're pretty good. But the Dick Tracy movie. But
I've seen trailers from them. I've never seen an actual film, but they come off a little bit more hard boiled.
Yeah, they are.
The 80s, and it was the 80s. Dick Tracy.
Yeah, I think so. Beatty, right?
Yeah. I mean, I thought they were going for the Batman, the TV series type of approach.
A little bit of that too.
A little bit.
But actually, 1990s when it came out.
90? Okay.
It wasn't as campy, but I will say this. There was so much anticipation with this film. They had the action figures ready to go.
And they were bad action figures too.
Yes, Sean is right. I got
so big too.
Which one? What, John?
Madonna, remember?
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to give something away, but yes, the big thing about this was Madonna and Beatty at the time were having a romantic affair.
That's right.
Like this was the whole like Cleopatra with Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton kind of a thing. But anyway. But the funny thing is, when the figures came out, Sean is right. They were not great figures, but there was one figure called the Blank, where the face it has 2 itty bitty little eyes, and the blank was almost impossible to find. It's like it was like the yak face of Star Wars action figures. It was like impossible to find. Now the weird thing is, these figures are actually somewhat desirable to some people out there. I actually sold my entire set because I didn't want them.
Did you have the blank?
I did not have the blank, but someone bought my. I didn't want to piecemeal it. It's like
You know what's funny is like the 90s. Like that's when Dick Tracy's in that same category as two other movies that were high profile, big budget, big star films in the 90s. The Shadow and The Phantom.
Yes.
Yes.
All three of these movies are kind of like the same, like big budget, like really elaborate, but none of them really work. And they bombed. And like they took classic pulp characters and tried to make them big new franchises. And The Saint. Remember The Saint?
Sure.
Val Kilmer.
Val
These
Kilmer.
movies just didn't work, and they're so forgettable. Like,
But
they just don't work.
But with The Shadow and The Phantom, I think The Shadow is probably a little bit closer to at least somewhat
Kind of.
playing it straight.
Yeah,
But I think all of those movies, the real problem is that they're all kind of winking at the subject matter.
yeah.
And that's what ruins it.
No, it does. You're right. Yeah, these are from either pulp novels or serials or whatever, and trying to make them be splashy, big budget Hollywood. It just doesn't work, you know.
I don't know, Sean. I don't mind the big flash. Spend the money on something like that. But if you have someone who loves the content and really cares about it, and if it's a well-written script, if it's well executed, you need more than, oh, well, we have the money to do these big special effects. It doesn't matter if it doesn't fit for the story and the good story.
And don't make it look like every other movie like that. Like that's the problem too.
Right.
Approach it differently, have your own unique cinematic vision. That's what I love about Sin City. Is that it brings a comic to life. It really does.
A completely different look. Yeah.
I just watched David Goyer, the first Blade was on last night.
We were just talking about the Blade films a couple episodes back. That's a good one. Yeah.
The first big Marvel movie that nobody ever.
No, I know. Before the MCU, right?
Yeah. Anyway, that was I believe, Sean, that was yours with Jaws 3.
Yes.
Okay, so Matt, now we're back in your corner.
Okay, so I'm going to John. Which one?
Which did we
He's
get?
got to do creature.
I've got the Revenge of the Creature Feature Movie Guide and the Psychotronic Encyclopedia of Film.
We did Psychotronic last one. Do the creature feature one.
Well, I'm going to let John. It's John's call. He's my dungeon master.
Feature. Larry knows better than me.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
All right.
Thank you.
So
it's nice to be appreciated sometimes.
All right.
And flip and stop.
Which side?
You're right.
The Others, 1957 TV version of the Henry James famous novella The Turn of the Screw, with Sarah Churchill as the governess battling to save the lives of two children, or is the supernatural horror all in her over-vivid imagination? Tommy Kirk, holy fuck, and Jeffrey Toone. I have never seen this. I love that story. The Innocents is probably one of my all-time favorite films. I think it's one of the greatest haunted house films of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But this I have never seen.
Wait, what's the date on it?
This is 1957, a TV version of this. And Tommy Kirk of Disney film fame.
Yeah, because I was thinking, first you said that, I was thinking of the Nicole Kidman ghost story.
But see, then there's and then there's the other one called the Others, which is about the two twins.
The Other.
Yes.
Which is right above this entry, of course.
Huh.
But I've never seen this. I did enjoy, what's the name of the film that had Brando? And it's a different take.
The Nightcomers.
The Nightcomers, yeah.
It's a prequel.
It's a prequel, right?
Yeah.
And I did enjoy that because I thought it was an interesting way to, have a different take on that story.
Yeah.
By showing what happened before.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
I do like that movie, but this one I've never heard of. I've never seen.
What's the year again?
Tommy Kirk, as we know, is one of our finest actors. And I mean, Larry Buchanan agreed, right?
Yes. From Mars Needs Women.
Yes. This is 1957.
Huh. Okay.
So if you like that story, I think I am going to seek this thing out and try to find it maybe on YouTube. All this stuff exists somewhere nowadays.
Yeah, totally.
You guys should do a whole show about actors in like the last 5 years of their career in the movies that they
Oh,
did.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea.
Like Karloff doing all those Mexican films and
Lon Chaney Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
fun
an
to see where
interesting
these guys went, where it kind of all went away.
Yeah, like Horror Stars The Last Days, you know?
Yeah.
You've got the positive side of it with Vincent Price. You know, you've got him going out on Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And then you've got maybe, you know,
Lugosi.
I don't know what the last film of John Agar was, but it wasn't great.
Probably a Larry Buchanan film.
The last thing Vincent Price films is his death scene. He dies.
That's right.
That's the last. So, I mean, I remember. Do you know when I saw that scene? I cried. I started crying in the movie theater. I know Matt says, "Oh, Larry cries into everything," but I knew
you should be on Star Trek Discovery.
Okay, all right, that's great. Anyway,
that's a good idea, though, John. That's a good idea for a show.
Thank you.
It is.
Yeah, no, that's a terrific idea.
I'm a fan of the show.
Well,
good man.
John,
good man.
Thanks to Matt. Now it is your turn.
Do you want to do your book or you want to do one of ours?
But it's going to be another pirate movie.
No, we need to break the cycle. So I think we need to do Hammer.
Okay, let's do Hammer.
Yeah.
You've got to do the Hammer book.
Blackbeard's Ghost.
Here we go. And Matt, you say it. You call it.
Stop.
Oh. Creatures the World Forgot.
Oh, that's on our box set.
That's on that. Yeah.
Do you want me to do one more?
No. Tell us what it is.
Oh. Hammer's next production be one of the few to receive backing from a major American studio in the 70s, but still a victim of an inadequate budget. The result was a prehistoric style adventure with no dinosaurs.
That's the kicker. It's kind of like a semi-sequel to When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth, I guess. And
because I guess people won because they no longer rule the earth.
right. And you're right. There's no dinosaurs.
Several drafts of pre-production poster art shows that at one point the title was considered suitable for a science fiction adventure. However, Columbia ultimately agreed to finance the new film on the strength of the poster illustrating mysticism and mayhem in Stone Age times. It would be the last time they invested in one of Hammer's films. With the support of producer-writer Michael Carias, director John Chaffee shot the entire film on location in Southwest Africa. Despite some stunning scenery in the presence of Hammer's new discovery, former Miss Norway Julie Eeg, the film
she's the main appeal.
Disappointment. The actress publicist described as a Norwegian sex goddess would never achieve the fame of her dreams, which perhaps just goes to show that dinosaurs had been the stars of Hammer's prehistoric films all along.
It's like the one Hammer prehistoric film with no dinosaurs.
Can you see
a cool thing?
Yeah.
It had its own business card.
That'll open a lot of doors for you.
You know, John,
that's better than a movie having a cereal. You'll want the business card.
As you're explaining this, I'm trying to imagine myself, the studio head going, let's see, that prehistoric mysticism. That's what the kids want. We'll get that sexy model. We'll make a ton of money.
And don't forget mayhem.
Norwegian sex goddess. And
there's a lot of sex goddess mayhem back in the Stone Age.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
You just assume that somehow she was fucking Peter Sellers.
Well, but we don't actually know that. We just
don't start rumors.
Yeah, we don't want to start.
We don't want to get the Sellers estate on us.
No.
Yeah. Okay, I guess maybe now back to the encyclopedia.
Nice.
Okay.
And John, say when?
When, please.
Right or left?
Left.
Left will be The Corpse Grinders.
Oh.
1971.
Classic.
An endearingly ramshackle exercise in bad taste.
Exactly.
The Corpse Grinders features Mitchell and Foster as the proprietors of a cat food firm who find their sales booming after they push a sleeping partner into the meat grinder when he proposes to withdraw his backing. To meet the demand for that particular mix, They turn first to the local gravedigger and then employ a house strangler. The local cats, unfortunately, begin to develop tigerish tendencies on their new diet. Not particularly well staged or acted, to put it mildly, the film nevertheless has moments that Roger Corman might have been proud of. It's Ted V. Michaels.
Ted V. Michaels.
Yeah.
Starring Sean Kenny, Monica Kelly, Sanford Mitchell, J. Byron Foster, and Ryan Ball.
And written by Arch Hall Sr.
Yes.
Wow.
With Joseph Princeton. Yeah.
The corpse grinding machine is literally a cardboard box with a couple gears taped on it. And you see like a woman go through it, and then the other side it comes out like ground beef. It's ridiculous.
Wow. That actually
It's a classic.
sounds neat, though.
It's the dark star of corpse grinding movies.
Exactly.
All right.
Wow.
Nice one, James. John, going back to the dinosaur one.
Please,
Go ahead.
not a short.
Do it.
Huh?
Please, not a short.
It has to be a pirate movie animated from the 30s about King Kong.
Left or right? Left or right?
Left, please.
Okay, from 1984, from Australia. I don't know this film. Frog Dreaming.
What is this book you're pulling from?
children's film with E.T. star Henry Thomas.
Frog Dreaming?
As a young boy seeking the truth about Donkigeen, a legendary Aboriginal pond monster. And it gets 2 dinosaurs. Frog
Weird.
Dreaming. Sean, it's in the USA it was called The Quest. But I've never heard of this. Either Frog Dreaming, and it's from 1984. I mean, I would have thought I would have known this. I mean, Henry Thomas, after E.T. was huge.
Yeah.
How is his career over that quickly?
It kind of was, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, he did that film with Dabney Coleman. That spy film. I mean, he did a bunch of stuff.
Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and Dagger. I mean, he basically did stuff while he was younger. And And then he did do that. There was the Psycho spinoff. Remember where?
You're right. Yeah, he played
Psycho, and he was in like Valmont.
Yeah,
Dangerous Liaison.
The biggest thing is recently, I guess it was last year, they did the whole E.T. comes back to Earth. There was that big commercial. Remember that?
Yeah, that was great.
That was really nice. That was really nice. I mean, I
didn't see it.
Yeah, you missed that.
You
missed that.
You haven't lived, Matt.
Anyway, Frog Dreaming or The Quest. I haven't seen this. I don't know this film, so I can't necessarily recommend it. But the writers of the Illustrated Dinosaur Movie Guide give it 2 dinosaurs. Okay. Sean, back to you, Sean.
All right, I'm going to take the classic Psychotronic Encyclopedia film.
Left side.
Left side. Ooh, okay. Yeah, this is one I haven't seen in a long time, and I can't remember how much I liked it or not. This is 1965, one of the lesser-known William Castle films, I Saw What You Did. You know that one, Matt?
I like that movie.
Joan Crawford, right?
Yep. And I love the plot.
It's like 2 teenage girls, right?
2 teenage girls are doing prank calls.
Okay.
And when they're doing the prank calls, they try various ways of, getting a rise out of someone.
Right.
They make this one call and they say to the guy, I know who you are and I saw what you did. Right. And this guy has just killed his wife, I think.
What a coincidence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I remember kind of liking it. It's one I had to see again. And Joan Crawford she just has more of like a supporting part, right?
Yeah, it's not a big part.
Yeah, okay.
But I like that one a lot. And and so the guy now thinks that these kids are onto him somehow. And so now he's trying to find them.
Okay, right.
It's really neat. And I like it's cat and mouse in a number of different ways because it goes from like at first he thinks that they're dangerous to him and then he finds out that they're just kids. But then the kids now realize that there's something more going on. And so, the power struggle keeps changing.
Okay, cool.
And for listeners, this is before the days of cell phones or caller ID.
Right.
That wasn't really around.
They're on a landline.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Okay,
so,
cool. Yeah, I can check that one out again.
Well, Matt, why don't you give us one of yours?
We just did John Stanley, so maybe we need to do Psychotronic because it is a classic.
Sir.
Okay. So let me start flipping when?
When? Stop! Oh, yeah. Lefty.
The Mummy's Revenge.
Oh,
This is-
Nashi.
This is Nashi, Paul Nashi, playing the worst looking mummy since the one Abbott and Costello met. He also appears unwrapped. 1973.
Yeah, it's a pretty gory actually.
Spanish.
yeah.
And I have never seen this, but
Yeah,
you guys have.
Yeah, it's your classic later Nash 75, later Nashi, extravaganza.
So this
I
is.
mean, it might not be politically correct to say this, but
Uh-oh.
I mean,
Easy, buddy. Easy.
there's pretty
Jews. What?
John, come on. Hey.
That's horrible. You
Well,
would say that.
There's a glamour element. There's pretty exotic women in it, and it's
pretty much.
There's not much of a takeaway apart from that.
No, I think it's safe to say that there's no Paul Nashi movie that's politically correct. I think,
Yeah.
True.
but no, you got Jack Taylor, Helga Linné, familiar faces in all these Nashi Spanish films. But it's actually a fun one. Nashi's played every classic monster, and this is him doing the Mummy.
Parts of it were actually shot in London, which is unusual for one
Right.
of these Spanish pictures.
Right.
Yeah.
And was this the first Mummy one that he did? I know it says Mummy's Revenge, but
I think so.
okay.
It's the only one.
Yeah.
It's the only one. Okay.
Yeah, because there was a mummy in Assignment Terror, but he didn't play the mummy.
Oh, right. Okay.
He fights the mummy as the werewolf.
Okay.
Right.
And I like the fact that James I don't want to be politically incorrect here, but the ladies are quite fetching in this film.
These are sensitive times. You gotta be
Glasses, if you know what I mean.
Oh, well. Hey.
The dresses go right over their knees. It's quite daring.
You can see ankles.
True gentlemen.
Well, this has been quite enlightening, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Yes.
We've talked about some movies that I am not familiar with. So
Perhaps a lot of the good titles that we don't normally talk about, and you guys got to watch The Finks.
No, that's the winner. Oh my
That's
God.
the
I
big
gotta see that.
Sean, it's the Finks or the Sphinx?
No, think of it. Okay, it's a play on words. You know, when you say you're a Fink, Fink.
Yes.
But the idea is that this is a band. It's pretending to be a band called the Finks. PHYNX.
The Finks.
Yeah.
Okay, the Finks.
Is that a monster party viewing party yet?
Yeah.
You mean like a live event?
Not during these
everybody
times.
puts this movie on at the same time.
Well, that would be a great one. That'd be a great one for like Cinefamily or something. They probably have shown it.
Or Patreon.
But
True.
we'll have to save that for another time. But John, I want to thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Yes.
And John, anything you'd like to plug?
Is there something you're working on that we can look forward to seeing? What?
Nothing.
I know.
Just trying like everybody. It's just trying to figure out what the heck's next.
Is there something your wife is working on that we can see sometime?
Yeah, she's in Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar playing right now.
We're talking Rose Abdu.
Cool.
Doing a HBO show with Gene Smart.
Nice.
HBO Max show where it's kind of based on Joan Rivers.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow, cool.
So they're trying to work out the title for it. It's it looks like it sounds like it's the people that were EPs or head writers of Broad City too are involved.
Oh,
Okay.
So,
cool.
yeah, it looks like it could be really cool. And
Cool.
and then just like everybody, just trying to figure out what to do next.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Exactly.
Matta Napkin continues to delight me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you, guys. Yeah, still doing that. We were gonna do a book and we are gonna do an art show. Then Rose and I were going to do a show together where we were going to do pop-up gallery and stuff, but that changed. Then we'll figure everything out.
Now, John, really quickly, I know.
Oh, here she comes. There's those
hi,
Barb and Star. Go to
Just really quickly for listeners who are not familiar with it, we've talked about this before, but Matta Napkin, what is that and where can they see this?
It's a internet site called mattanapkin.com where it's a daily cartoon drawn on a napkin. So after we started doing it for a while, we ended up getting a lot of publicity. Then we got a book deal, and then we started doing it. We did an art show,
Nice.
So it's all just based on me drawing a cartoon on a napkin for my gorgeous wife and my favorite dog.
Oh,
Well,
Cool.
thank you so much for sharing those, because I love seeing those
Yeah,
every other
we all
day or
love
so,
it.
and they always
Yeah.
make me laugh.
Great
You know what?
idea.
But correct me if I'm wrong.
Podcast, Monster Party.
But correct me if I'm wrong. You do not buy napkins. You or your wife gets them from someplace, right?
Here was the crazy thing when this we couldn't go to the Habit anymore to steal him, so we had to go right to the distributor.
like engross.
They were treating it like it was gold. So I showed up with like a $50 bill and I said, "Hey, can I buy a thing?" "Ah, man, I wish I could."
wow.
I used to work in a liquor store, and we would have the Bartles and James figures, and the guys, as they were going to the Jersey Shore, would go, "Hey, can we buy this?" And I'd go, "Listen, man, I wish I could." And they go, "How about we give you $100?" And I go,
Okay.
"Free." Yeah, and they throw $200 down, they take it out. What they didn't know is I had like 15 more in there. So people showed up to the Jersey Shore with the two Bartle and James guys all the time.
Fantastic.
I couldn't get the Habit to give me a stack of napkins this big. The guy was going, "I don't know whether we're still going to be open." You know, this was
Oh, right.
Wow.
April, May, you know, when everybody was afraid to breathe.
Right.
Right.
But yeah, so I had to buy a big box of them.
Well, please
Okay.
please keep drawing away on
Yeah.
those napkins.
Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you so much for coming back, man. We always love you.
Yeah, this has been good. This is a good one.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I love you all. And please don't ever give up on Larry.
I know. No, we don't want anything. We don't want him to change. We love him just the way he is. Yeah.
Hey,
All right,
thanks.
buddy. Well, let's have a toast to John Matta and the Mad Movie SmackDown lives again.
Yeah.
Time for a listener shout out.
Shout out.
Shout
Shout
out.
out. Mad Movie shout out.
This goes out to Carolos from Laverne, Tennessee, who's
Cool.
now the proud owner of a Monster Party t-shirt.
That's right.
Hey.
It's in the mail.
Carolos, thank you so much. Also want to give a shout out to our last guest, John Kitley from Kitley's Crypt.
Oh, John
John,
Kitley. He was
Yes.
great.
It was
He
wonderful.
was, and he was kind enough to send each of us a copy
All
of his
right.
book,
Yay.
Discover the Horror.
Nice.
Nice. Wow.
Awesome.
So we
I
look
can't
forward
wait to read
reading
that. Yeah.
Is
That's
it,
cool.
is it signed?
Did you sign him?
Yes, he did. He did.
Oh.
Actually. I'm glad you asked because I didn't even realize he signed it. So cool. And John also wrote, "I've been listening to a few of your older shows.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
Really enjoying them. Loved the WTF endings one. And last night listened to the Lovecraft one and really enjoyed that as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh, good,
Cool.
good. Yeah.
Keep up the great work, John."
Oh,
Thank you,
that's
John.
very sweet. Yeah, thank you very
Much
much.
appreciated.
Yeah,
Class act.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
great. He was a great guest.
Hey, God, he knew his stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
we love it when that happens.
Yes.
Yeah, and I would like to do a follow-up shout out to longtime fan, listener, and friend of the show, Jim Jenkins.
Jim
Jim.
Jenkins.
Yeah.
Jim sent us these wonderful paper sculptures that he does, or like paper and cardboard, and he does these
Yeah.
incredible sculptures. And he sent us sculptures of what I look at these things and I know they're supposed to be us, but we're done as Dorats from Godzilla versus King Ghidorah.
That's right.
Nice.
And it's interesting because I'm looking at them and I'm trying to figure out which one of them is us. And the only one I can figure out, I know which one is Larry. Because Larry's got the jutting jaw. He's got a strong jaw. I'm not ribbing you here. You got a good jaw.
Okay.
And so I think I know which one is his. But anyway, these things are beautiful. The amount of work that he puts into these things just shows.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
So well done. And he sent us one before of the creature from the alligator people, since we did the commentary.
Yes. Yeah.
And so these are going to have a just an honored place in the studio. And I just got to figure out
lair.
Yeah, I got to figure out where to put them and display them properly. But right now I've got them all set up. And because when he sent them, they were kind of in pieces because you got to make sure that they, when you're shipping, you never know what's going to happen. So
right.
you got to be careful. But yeah, I put them all together. So I'll take a picture of these and we'll post them on Facebook and other social media. But I think you're really going to get a kick out of them because they're just so gorgeous.
And the thing I love is in the film, there are only 3 door rats.
Yes. Yeah.
But because there's 4 of us, he made 4.
Yes.
Who knows for the mystery door rat, like kind of like the Zeppo of the door rat.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like he turned into another creature that we don't even know about in the Godzilla universe.
I was going to say Ted Healy.
Ted Healy, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they're so beautiful. And now what I want to see, and we don't have any room left, I think, for it, but it would be interesting to see then now the King Ghidorah with 4 heads.
Oh my gosh. You're right. That's hilarious.
No, Jim, no.
No, please. We're running out of room.
No.
But these,
Jim, thank you.
Yeah, you've done enough hard work already. But these things are great, and I know that you're going to enjoy them when you see them. So we'll post some pictures, and I think they will bring you joy.
Well, as mentioned, Monster Party merch is available on our eBay store, and that's Monster Party Store. Easy to remember. That's our vendor name on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
And we still got a pretty good inventory, right?
Yeah, we have most of the bigger sizes. We have large, extra large. I think there might be a couple bigger ones than that. I think we might be out of like XXX large, but I know we don't have mediums anymore. And I think we may be out of smalls. There might be one more hiding somewhere, but if you're looking for a large or an extra large, you're taken care of. Very
cool. Yeah, so check it out. We are out of stock on caps for the moment. We hope that in the future that will change.
Yes.
But right now, yeah. And masks, the Monster Party PPE mask, the cloth mask. It's beautiful, it's affordable, and shipping is free for all Monster Party merch.
Oh, now that you said it, we have to do it.
Oh,
but that's okay. It's Larry. Shipping is free.
That's crazy.
What are we doing?
Yeah, it's like a madhouse.
Oh my! I am beyond myself. Trying to understand how we make a buck, but we don't care. We don't care. Right. It's all love.
It's like Crazy Eddie. We're insane.
We're insane with love. We just want to give.
That's right.
But not entirely. I mean, we want a little bit of change, But speaking of merch, we have a Patreon account. If you join our Patreon account, not only will you get bonus video, audio, and other perks that we come up with. We're always trying to figure out some new way to entertain you and make your money that you spent on Patreon well spent. Right. But aside from these things, we will also, if you order merch and you are a Patreon member, we will include with your order extra stuff donated by Biff Bang Pow Toys and Jason Lindsay. I mean, you'll get a t-shirt, you'll get your whatever you order, but then you'll also get maybe, a bobblehead or some Star Trek glasses or some other crazy nonsense. I might even throw in some extras lying around from my own collection. Who knows? No. I don't even know what I'm doing now.
Well, wait a minute. You mentioned money. How much does this Patreon thing cost? Is it really expensive?
No, Larry. It's $5 a month.
$5?
$5 a month. That's it. That's it.
Nothing.
Yeah. You know what? Roll your grandma. Grandma's got $5, right?
I'm sure.
Everyone's grandma's got like $5 in her wallet, right? It might be stuck to some mints, maybe.
I'm sure you can find $5 worth of change in your couch, or
in your couch,
in your car.
Yeah,
nothing. Look at all the change there you could find.
Yes. And for $5, what a bargain!
And let's remind our listeners that you can find us on Facebook and YouTube at Monster Party TV. Our Twitter handle is at Monster Party HQ. Our Instagram handle, also Monster Party HQ. And please, whatever platform you're listening to us on, please take a moment, write a review. We would love to hear your thoughts, and we will read it on the air.
That's right, because we love reading.
Reading is fundamental.
Is monster mental. On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I'm SHAWN SHERIDAN.
I'm Larry Stroth.
And I'm James GONIS.
Keep America strong.
And have your own Mad Movie Smackdown.
John Matta not included.
And watch the Finks.
So, John Matta, you love apes.
Yes. And
Yes, you just love them.
I wanted to welcome you again to Monster Party as an ape.
I want to welcome you too.
Because
as a human.
Because I also know
counterpoint.
I know about your love of dummies, ventriloquist dummies.
Oh my God.
And John, I was going to surprise you tonight with my little Willie talk. I was going to have him out, and I couldn't find him. And for the life of me, I can't find him. So I thought, okay, if I can't get John the dummy, I'll give him the ape. So
perfect. I had 7 of them down. I have 7 of them boxed up downstairs. And we once at Largo did a scene from Glengarry Glen Ross with all ventriloquist dummies.
Yes, I remember you telling me that. But here's my question. I know you have a bunch, but do you have specifically the Willie Talk? Do you remember?
No.
Willie Talk was from the 70s.
I completely know it.
His body is plush and his head is plastic, and it's a string, a string that you pull. And that's what makes him open his mouth. But John, it has a design flaw.
It's not a real person?
No. And this is what happened to me, John. So I used them a lot. What happens is the string would rub against the cheap plastic cover inside his neck that kept all the stuffing in. And it would rub and rub and rub. Eventually, it opened up. So what happened is stuffing would come up into his mouth, and you'd pull the string, and it looks like he's barfing. Barfing foam.
That's not a design flaw. That's a design plus.
No, it's a design flaw.
An extra feature.
So, John, when I was performing, sometimes he'd cough up some of the stuff, or he'd barf some stuff, and I'd make him go, "Oh, I've got a cough."
Wonderful. Wonderful.
But then as he kept doing, "Hi, everybody," he'd keep barfing. So eventually, I had to put him out in the pasture, but I still have him.
So, Sean, James, just thought I'd catch you up here. Larry is once again on a tear about a design flaw in his ventriloquist doll that he had that was made for children. And apparently he thought that it was meant to take on the stage. So when he was on one of his vaudeville tours, the stuffing inside, you explain it, the stuff that was inside the body, which it was a plush body, by the way, which of course, if it's plush, it's a sign of quality.
Well, and here's the thing. See, John's very experienced, and he knows that, the professional, the fancy puppets, the dummies, there's actually a bar inside the body.
Correct.
With your thumb, and that's how you make it talk. Well, Willie Talk, it was made for kids, and so the string came out of the back of his neck, and you would pull it. But every time you pulled it, it rubbed against the plastic inside that was holding stuffing in. So eventually it rubbed and it broke, and then stuffing would come out of his mouth. So he'd go like he was barfing. So, and I wanted to show that to John today, but I couldn't find it. So
you'll get a picture. Are you guys drinking and snacking?
Well, I'm not. I am drinking.
All right.
That's how we do it.
With this, and here's my new snack.
Wait a minute. Ooh.
Honey butter potato chips.
Wow. Oh my God. Wow.
Sounds good.
I didn't find my dummy.
But
I did find my VHS copy of Dr. Brainiac.
Whoa.
Dr. Brainiac's lab. This is
Nice.
a cherished collector's item.
It is.
Yeah, I have mine somewhere.
Do all you guys have VHS players?
Mine
Yes.
broke. Mine broke.
I do. I have one of those combined like VHS and DVD, so I can copy things onto either
Me too.
copy things from VHS to DVD. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't have it hooked up right now, but it's around here somewhere.
yeah, it's cool
You know,
because there's
John,
still stuff you find on VHS you can't get anywhere else.
John,
Yeah.
I'm throwing away all my VHSs. I'm making sure that, does this exist on DVD? If it doesn't, I'll keep it, but most of them do. So, and I have it. So I'm
Well, that you have to keep because that's a collector's item because it's also you're in it.
why, yes.
Do you know
Yes,
about
I
Dr.
am.
Brainiac's lab, Mr. Matta?
No.
This was a spec game show that Shawn Sheridan and our friend John Platt put together.
Way back in 1999.
How do you like that?
I'll never
Holy shit,
forget it.
You're on top of everybody.
Yeah.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Oh, yes, he does. Like every indignity that has visited him in this earthly plane.
There was a design flaw in the game.
Another design flaw.
Well,
You know what, Larry? People have
On a
design
string.
flaws all over the fucking place.
no, but let me just ask a question, John. I mean, you're,
All right,
you're pretty
once
hip.
we're up the flagpole, here we go.
You're a pretty hip guy. Now,
You're now.
have you been on a
You're
game
now,
show?
Unger.
Have you
I
been
got
on a
that
game-
hair.
Have you been on a game show?
Never.
Okay. Now, but if you've seen that, if you're
You've
on a
seen game show. Well, are we gonna? How many questions are we gonna go through this?
if you're on
Have
a
you-
game show,
do you know
and
what a
get
game
an
show
answer-
is?
No,
I learned how to speak English from magazines.
Okay.
So I'm here.
If you're on a game show and you get an answer wrong, there's some kind of penalty. Either
Right.
you get points deducted or something, but not in this show.
Okay, but that's the rules of this show. See, let me cut to the chase. If this ape had a name, its name would be Sour Grapes because he lost. He lost. He was a loser. He was a loser on the show. I won. He lost. And apparently he wasn't quick enough to be able to pick up that, okay, well, these are the rules. There's no penalty for getting one of the questions wrong. So I just got to be on top of it. I just got to move and flow with this game. But did he? No. He fought. He fought the tide.
Of course.
What happens?
Larry.
It drowned.
Lose.
So is that sour grapes or sour apes?
Oh, hey!
Good one.
Oh, see, that's the Monster Party seal of quality right there.
All right. There you go. All right. Let me.
You know what I love? I truly love the fact that Larry never changes. Like, it's one of the things that actually brings joy to my life. That, like, it's a constant.
It'll happen.
I don't know. I don't want it. Don't you ever grow. Never. How dare you? Don't you ever get better.
I
Don't
changed.
listen to Dr. Tom.
No, Dr. Tom. Oh, that Dr. Tom.
What other Dr. Tom do you know? How many doctors do you have?
Oh, that's a long story.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to pry.
Hey, have you guys watched Sweet Home on Netflix yet?
No, what's that?
We at home now.
It's monsters.
Ooh.
No
A
way.
lot of monsters.
Is it a series?
Yeah.
It is a series. Okay.
I just started it today. I'm only about 20 minutes in. Pretty violent, pretty crazy.
Ooh.
Never.
Is it comedic or is it drama?
Seems straight horror.
Okay.
Halfway
Great.
through, I just felt like, God, I'm glad Rose is in the house. I don't think I'd like to watch this
Wow.
all by myself. There's
Oh.
no horror movie I will watch all by myself.
That is so beautiful.
I would leave her, if somebody came in, I would go through the second floor door. I'd have no problem with
Yeah.
that. Just the idea of being
Punchline to a
home
prior
alone.
joke.
Yeah, I can't watch anything like that ever. But
Hey.
I'm surprised you guys didn't get in. Take a look.
There's too many shows. I just watched
It's way too many.
Raised by Wolves.
Oh.
It was hard to get through.
I for where I'm at so far, I think it's pretty interesting. I mean, that's
got
just my.
like 2 left or something, and it's been not. I've enjoyed it, but it's some bad acting in it.
I think the main android lady is
Fantastic.
Pretty amazing.
Yes.
And for overall, I think it's pretty interesting. Now, I don't know how they're going to sustain it, but it does have like the thing that we like about Ridley Scott, it has that in it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but I could see how could run hot or cold depending on your taste.
I don't think it needed that many episodes.
Isn't that like every show now?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, pretty much.
Does it end? Is it a mini series?
Yeah, one season.
It's one season. Okay. How about Resident Alien? Anyone done that one?
I've heard people love it.
Gina's watching it. She loves it.
I mostly love it. The problem with that show is every once in a while they try to bring in like a real dramatic story to it, and it doesn't fit the show at all. And it's really heavy-handed, like melodramatic, bad.
Did you guys get through all of Ash versus the Evil Dead? Did you enjoy?
I did.
Every season?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I think it was stronger in the beginning than at the end, but
It was still
What do you
pretty
think,
solid,
Larry?
though.
it was solid. Yeah, I agree.
I was a fan. I wished I kind of would have liked more though. I'm bummed.
Me too.
Bummed that it
Well, the
ended.
ending, the last episode was set up for a great third season that never happened. So
Yeah, that would be great.
I have a friend who works at Stars, and I asked him, and he said people weren't watching it. And I go, but it seemed like on the internet there was like
That's incredible.
A big buzz about having some other network take it, like whether it be Sci-Fi Channel or something like that. But I don't know that I haven't seen it.
Nerds wouldn't pay for it. That's the fucked up thing. Nerds wouldn't pay for it. They would torrent it or watch it somewhere.
Oh, that's a good point.
And that's what sucks is Bruce Campbell was willing to do this for 10 more years if you wanted.
Was he really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's
I thought he was
saying. No,
I thought
we saw him in one of those live events, like at the Motion Picture Television Academy. He was there and talked about it. He said, people ask me, like, why do you want to keep doing Ash? He's like, I'll do Ash until I'm fucking 90 years old. Like, I love it. He loved it. He was executive producer of the show too. I mean, he would have done it forever.
So that's promising, though. You never know. It could be resurrected somehow.
Maybe after about 5 or 10 years or something.
Very possible.
It sounded like he was not happy with how it ended. Like I
Really?
said, by going like, I'm willing to do this. I'm busting my ass. I'm covered in fucking blood all the time.
Sure.
I got hit in the face by an asshole for 4 days.
Yes.
And I like that scene in the morgue.
Oh my God. The best.
Fantastic.
The
All
best.
that stuff is great.
Like, you like Danny McBride? You want to see some crazy shit? Watch this.
Yeah.
Well, but John, look, you're a pro TV guy. I mean, if you're going to work your ass off to try to produce something, that's great. And even if you have to work late or whatever, I mean, you're going to do what it takes. Sometimes, the public doesn't react to it the way you had hoped. So
Yeah, but they stole.
Mhm.
That was the thing that had him angry. Of nerds weren't willing to. All they had to do was buy Stars for 3 months.
right.
That's what we
That's
did.
what we did. Yeah.
Or Bruce Campbell. We would have Bruce Campbell right now. That's what sucks about it. It's not about watching it and going, it wasn't for me. Nerds would rather steal than.
You know what he said was big was that show American Gods. That was a big show.
Never saw that.
Yeah,
I watched part of it.
Didn't have much interest, to be honest.
It didn't. After 3 episodes, I kind of got a little bored.
but see you.
And I like Neil Gaiman.
Yeah,
It's just
Orlando Jones was great in it.
Mm.
He did a scene on a slave ship, and just saying that, listen, you guys can go and be slaves, or you could go up there and kill every motherfucker that's here. It was crazy. It was so dark, and it was really fantastic. And I'm not really, I worked for Orlando, but I'm not really a fan of his work. But this was one where they figured out exactly how to use him, and he was fantastic.
I'll go back to that show because I do. It's one of those shows that I can tell is kind of a long form thing anyway. I mean, it's based on a novel, and so, but it's so tough now because there are so many shows, and to commit yourself to that hour, and it's multiple seasons. And we watched the first episode of that Clarice show.
Oh, yeah.
That is no good.
What's
Really?
that? What's Clarice?
It's like the Silence of the Lambs, but it's follows Clarice, right, Matt?
Yes,
for
and it
God's
takes
sake.
place. It takes place right after Silence of the Lambs.
Why
So it's
do
like
they
the
keep,
aftermath.
Why do they keep doing that? Why do they keep, instead of making original content, let's do an entire movie about Cruella when she was young.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
All that fucking fad is. Why not make a new screenplay?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're talking about two different
Oh,
things.
he's pissed.
Yeah.
No, Sean, I understand. It's like it's the whole Maleficent thing. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
hey, let's do the backstory of Maleficent. Now we're doing the backstory of Cruella de Vil.
Why?
But Clarice is different. I mean, for me, it's like it's an interesting character. She just started working for the FBI and
Have you seen it?
Look, as the person who has seen it,
you have seen it. Yes.
Yes. We watched the first episode. It could have been good because, I thought I watched a few episodes of Hannibal, and that's another one where I don't know how we got, off of that one. But I thought that was pretty good. And I know that a lot of people love that show.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I heard it's good.
Everything he does is good.
Yeah. But this one was so melodramatic. And so it almost shared the universe of The Little Things with that just like melodramatic, crappy, like whoever wrote this watched a lot of, TV shows, and it's just terrible. It's so bad. And it's constantly reminding you that it's related to Silence of the Lambs. Like every other moment, there's a flash of some Maz, and it's so bad.
Yeah, but
No
are you
interest.
looking at it as like a writer?
I'm looking at it as good or bad TV.
As a viewer who wants to be entertained.
Bad. I'm ready. I'm with you, John. I'm the same. I walk into it wanting to love it. I'm ready to love it.
Right.
And they got to do a number of things to break me out of that. And this was like one thing after another. And I thought that if the woman who plays Clarice, whose name escapes me, I think she's not bad, but it's so heavy-handed. It's so over the top. And I mean, there's a scene where she's making a speech and they cut to this cop who has befriended her. And he's got this look on his face where he does that indicating acting where he's like, yeah, I like the cut of her jib, and I'm like, wow, man, was this shot, at RKO in the 40s? What the fuck is this?
Well, I did want to say to Sean, imagine you're a studio executive, Sean. You're trying to make money, and I think it's easier for you to say, hey, the audience knows who Cruella de Vil is. The audience knows,
of course,
who Maleficent is. So it's easier for them to, hey, go and make this film on a character that people know already instead of a completely new thing that you don't know anything about. So I'm just saying that's
Disney,
from a business sense, yes.
Because I worry about Disney because they have to be careful with their money. It could go under any day, so they can't take too many chances.
No, I'm with you.
They're right. They're on the edge.
It's
they gotta be careful. They gotta play it safe, man.
What's this whole Star Wars thing? I just managed to stumble upon this whole franchise. Seems to be catching some steam here.
Yeah.
Look, the cash cow has always been the parks, and it's been tough. Now the parks aren't doing anything. It's like that is gone right now. And sure, eventually it'll come back. But Sean's right. I mean, billions and billions of dollars spent on these properties, whether it be Star Wars was cheap. That was only $4 billion, what about the whole Marvel universe and Pixar? And I mean, it's astronomical. So
Wanda?
Yes.
That is an exception. I do enjoy that.
I do like that.
But that's so different though.
It hurts your heart?
What's that, John?
It's 11 episodes of bad TV. You could have done that in one. You move it along. It was, what was it? 5 episodes.
What show are you talking about?
WandaVision.
They're half hour. There's half hours, and there have been 7 episodes. And to me, instead of another superhero on the streets fighting guys, do something different with it. And both those actors have a chance to actually shine and do some actual acting for once.
I thought it was interesting.
Their parodies are spot on.
I don't think she is. She could be in any.
I like her. I like her a lot.
Sitcom.
When they dress her up like Laura Petrie in a Dick Van Dyke Show, I'm in.
Well,
I'm sorry.
You gotta come on, John.
But she,
come on.
But the show's clever.
Come on, light a cigar and join us with this.
John, are you dead inside? Come on.
Second of it, and I've hated every second of it, but I've enjoyed how much I've hated it.
I'm surprised.
I will watch this every day of my life.
So you'd rather watch like
Discovery,
Luke Cage or Daredevil and all those shows where it's the same fucking thing over and over again.
I'm out on all of them.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, because those didn't work, and so they're trying something a little different. And since they have $18 billion to spend, try an experiment.
I thought the writing staff that they had was just average at best.
Really? Because I thought you should have showed those in the 60s or the 80s or the 90s, and those could have played. Like, they're that well done.
I did not know where this was going, and I enjoyed the ride myself.
Yeah, and you still don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
And you know what though? They're setting stuff up for the next MCU phase.
And that brings me to a question that I want to ask John before we
get started. Go, Larry.
John, I know you're a big fan of Ben Grimm, and so we've heard that. So now there's going to be a new Fantastic Four film, because now it's in the hands of people who know how to make superhero films. You excited? Are you worried? How's your feeling there?
I think they're going to give it over to John Krasinski, don't you think?
Probably, and maybe Prevost. I mean, they're not going to be within that universe. So put aside the other shitty Fantastic Four movies. Maybe we'll at least have a decent movie for once from them. So.
I hope they don't bring the robot in.
Although maybe as an in-joke, they should do a little reference.
They should. They're right. They should be like in a closet, a broken Herbie.
Exactly. like the way they had the old Bubo in
Clash of the Titans.
Hey, come on. Let's be easy on Bubo.
Larry, you know that I love Bubo.
Yeah, we love Bubo.
Comparing it to what they
and that's a terrible movie, by the way, too.
Yes, it is.
Wait, Clash of the Titans?
The remake.
Oh, okay. I just want to be clear.
No. We all love Clash of the Titans. Come on.
James, we do a show.
James, are you on board there?
Yes,
yeah, James, you gotta stop talking so much, James, really.
Sorry, guys. I'll shut up now.
John, thanks for posting pictures of your collection. It was really neat to see
I'm buying another case. I'm buying, I think.
Nice.
That's a big deal for you.
IKEA, and I'm going to put legs on it. So I'm going to the DFOC, whatever that one is, just the straight glass one.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to put legs to raise it up to make it a 6-footer. But I don't think I'm going to light it. It's just a lot of work to do.
Well, IKEA makes it easy.
Yeah, it's pretty,
Yeah.
But lighting, man, I don't know. I mean, lighting always helps,
I have one light in every case because IKEA has it all set up. Everything's pre-drilled and all it takes is just a tiny bit of measuring and boom.
But I've got enough for a second case now.
Oh, let me ask you, Migo yet?
No. I think if I get it, it'll be over.
No, I was just explaining that to these guys.
but it won't though, because they made the Fantastic Four movie, so there's going to be more.
Yeah.
I've been close. I've tried to keep it under $50 because I don't care whether it's
$50. Okay.
Oh, let's see.
I said 40.
You can get 12 of them now on eBay for under $50. I'm sure.
I don't know. I don't know. No, I don't know if it's under 50. But John,
maybe they'll make a new one.
Loose? Yeah.
No. There's no loose.
It's like
10 grams for.
It's like $150 minimum for a loose one.
What?
Yeah.
So we're talking. Just to be clear, we're talking about the only thing John collects is Ben Grimm figures, right?
Yes.
But still has never gotten the Migo Ben Grimm figure.
Correct.
Yes.
And did you know?
Something to drive me nuts. See, it's like my Ark of the Covenant where I'm always going to be but once I finally get it, it's going to be so sweet.
That's true. And I think at this point, since you've waited so long, you should get one in the box.
Oh,
When you
yeah.
get it, get like a mid.
$1,000.
Nah, not really 1,000.
Well, even at 500, half that, that's still a lot.
That's still a lot, but
I don't know whether I
maybe
can
that's what
afford
you should wait and get the pristine, perfect.
All right, one by one. What is the most you spent on one thing that you went, I don't know whether I should do this, but you pulled the trigger?
Like how much?
Yeah. What was the biggest thing you guys?
I don't know if I want to say.
I don't know whether this is. You don't have to tell me the amount, but tell me what the item is that you pulled the trigger on something. And it's not that you regret it or you're happy that you're doing it, but you had that instant of going, I don't know about this.
I think the most I've ever paid for anything was like, I don't know, in the neighborhood of $500. I don't like to pay too much for things.
Yeah,
because
me too.
the idea is I'm trying to get a deal. I like to wait and find and get it for cheaper. For example, in Japan, I found these pop-up books, these Ultraman pop-up books, and they were all over the place, but everybody wanted like $100 or more for them. Uh-huh. And so here I am. One day I'm on eBay, and two of them, real good shape, and minimum bid 99 cents.
What?
Oh.
Got them for 99 cents.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm expecting to find somebody who fucked up really bad and got to sell their whole collection. And I'll
sometimes people don't know what they have, you know?
Yeah.
Or they list it under a weird name, like a different, not quite right title, you know? And yeah, you just have to kind of be creative in the way you
I almost got close with Next Door. A guy was getting rid of everything.
Wow. Oh, that's cool.
I got close. When you went to Japan, how much, like going to Vegas, how much fun money did you have in your pocket for stuff?
Well,
yeah.
Anybody? I mean, I had a couple grand. I mean,
but that's a vacation. That's over a week vacation to another country.
Yeah. But I like to get as much bang for my buck, like, you know, and if there's something that is pretty expensive, like again, like if it starts getting over $500, I'm out. You know,
well, that's where Matt and I differ, because to me,
you want what you want.
And I don't mind paying, you know, the big price. I mean, I spent a lot of money on a 3-sheet poster, and
that's also art.
And it's very rare, and it's, you know, vintage, and
certain things cost that much, and I get that.
Yeah.
And if you have the money to spend, then that's one thing. And I'm not saying that it's a bad idea to spend $1,000 or more on something like that. If it's like you're saying, if it's the thing that you want, and that's what it costs. And so I get that. Like eventually I am going to get the Fred Barton Robbie. That is going to happen. And that'll be the most I'll have ever spent on anything. And that's, you know, over 20 grand, I think.
Yes.
Wow.
I almost bought the B9 robot from Icons with Dave Higgins.
I remember you telling us. Yeah.
That's cool.
I think it was like around 9 grand, and it was right when I started making money here. Mm-hmm. And it was a very doable thing.
Right.
We didn't pull the trigger. We just said, let's think about it over the weekend. After the weekend, the company went belly up.
Wow.
We went to the factory and got to see him.
Wow.
That man was still alive. So he would, I think it was like maybe $300 for him to do your name. You pulled the pack off. Ooh, it went down, and like a CD player.
Oh, that's
cool.
Completely cool.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's relative. Like if I had all the cash to I'd be spending thousands on original props. I'd be going crazy. I mean, absolutely.
Well, I like to get a deal, though. I like to bargain shop.
No, of course. But I mean, I'm saying if
I agree with you.
Financially comfortable, sure.
Who cares? Yeah, you'd be Kirk Hammett. You'd be going crazy.
Right, exactly. Absolutely.
Beautiful things like that, that's what they cost. Like my favorite thing is watching Matt Weinhold at the end of a show where as they're putting shit in their station wagon, Matt I got to see him make a big run around and bought all of his stuff.
At the shrine shows.
You really want to haul that all the way back? $10. You fucker. Here you go. How this game works is that we get one of these reference books and we flip through them. We flip through the pages. And then when one of us says stop, we when it's your turn, you say stop. Let me start this again.
do you know how to play this
yes,
game?
I do. Shut
Need
up.
some help?
No, I don't. There we go.
Okay,
Shut up. Shut up.
I'm just saying it's not that complex.
Shut up. Now.
I'm just trying to help.
Are you? I don't think so. Okay.
Oh, I think we lost James. Oh, well, I guess we lost everybody. Well, it sounds like this is my opportunity to take over the show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Monster Party. I'm Larry Stroth, and if you catch Patreon, every once in a while, you might see Larry's Toy Time. Basically, it's me showing off bits of my collection, and I think you'll find it lots of fun because I've got some things that maybe you've seen and things that maybe you haven't seen. And a lot of them are in great shape. Some of them are even packaged. So check it out. You know, on Valentine's Day, we made a whole day of it. And the family staying together. And we had a nice little sushi dinner at home. And we watched Soul.
What'd you think?
We really enjoyed it. We really liked it.
Honestly, I couldn't get through it. I couldn't get into it. It's as soon as they got into heaven,
yeah.
It seemed like,
but it wasn't really heaven.
Well, it was limbo.
Yeah,
it was total Soul.
Soul, the movie Soul,
Oh,
the Pixar, the latest Pixar film. Go ahead.
I hear that's good.
It is.
But it was total fantasy. It was like there was no grounding in reality at that point, and I lost it. It's like I can't continue with this. I just have to turn it off.
Wait a minute.
Which movie, James?
Can I ask you?
Soul.
So
Soul.
let me ask you a question.
I haven't
It has
seen
no basis in reality, but watching the Toy Story movies, I mean, it's toys that are alive. I mean, what about that?
Well, because they're alive on planet Earth. Here you have this sort of metaphysical limbo
Yes.
situation. And it was too much to expect from me. I just couldn't.
It's funny because there were some funny jokes in there that I thought you would have loved, where the little soul, you know, like pokes fun at some of the philosophical, the intelligent people's souls who are trying to help the little souls. I thought
Just a little too fantastical.
So did you watch it for 15 minutes and go, this is stupid?
Yes,
I'm outta
exactly
here.
15 minutes. Yes.
Oh my God.
Did not get into it.
God.
No, it'll win the Oscar. I'm sure it's very good, and I'm not giving it a fair shake. But I couldn't. It's too.
Is it
out there?
Jazz? Was it because it had jazz in it?
No.
He hates jazz?
No, he doesn't. He hates like heaven or limbo. That's what it is.
He hates
No,
heaven. I've never heard him say that ever. I hate heaven. And limbo, don't even get me started.
If you're gonna like whatever drama you get into, there has to be some conflicts that's rooted for me in the real world, and this was just too fantastical. I can accept some variation on the real world, margins of fantasy. This was just so out there. It's like, look, this is a universe where absolutely anything can happen, so why should I give a shit? And that's what I felt like with Soul. And I didn't want to feel that way.
You just brought back a horrible memory. You remember you were a kid. You're a kid.
Do you have any good memories? Larry, any?
I think I know what this is going to be. Go ahead.
You see there's the gumballs, and then there's the machine right above them where you put a coin in, you turn the handle, and out comes it's a capsule and has a little rubber toy, and you look at it, and just like what you have it, there's the big creepy bug in the front. And you go, oh, I want that one. You put the coin in, you turn it, out comes, and you get something that's an ant. Something stupid, and you just spent my quarter.
I'm totally on your side on this one.
I want the rubber.
I spent a lot of quarters trying to get a good one. Yeah,
I would get stuff. I would put money in those machines, and I would get something out that wasn't even pictured on the.
Yes, exactly. You get like a ring or something.
Pissed me off. Yeah,
I got a diamond ring.
I literally got a woman's ring.
And you know what happened? What happened was, as the things went down, the prizes, the guys came, they took the top off, poured in a new batch. There were still some from the old batch there. They put in the new card.
There you go.
You're thinking you're going to get the diamond ring. Yes,
that's right.
So, all right. So now, keep America strong.
Read genre movie guidebooks and have your own SmackDown.
Flip open a flip a reference book or guidebook. What do we call them?
Either reference.
Flip open a monster book and have your own SmackDown.
Yeah.
Should it be a monster guidebook or monster
Monster guidebook, monster reference book, monster movie book,
monster movie reference guide,
Yeah. Less is more here.
Yeah.
No,
monster movie book sounds good.
But see,
monster movie book is good.
Yeah, monster movie book.
The book about monster movies. Reference book is fine, but I don't know.
Encyclopedic
it's
reference guidebook.
What'd you say? What, Larry?
It's accurate.
Well, then let's say that we could say monster, your own monster movie reference book. Does that work for you?
Yes.
Let's go.
James isn't nodding, so I don't know.
I have no opinion here.
No.
That's probably wise.
No, you have to have an opinion.
James just checked out after the first 15 minutes of this podcast. He was out. He was paying attention.
He's been thinking about the Finks ever since we mentioned it. He's in another place.
Hey, honestly, I've been thinking about the Finks too.
I know.
I thought I had mentioned it to you guys before. Maybe not.
I have no memory of it whatsoever.
I don't want to like build it up too much, but like just be in the mindset
just to see all those people.
Yeah, they're more like. They're like small supporting parts because it's like
in the
they've always been kidnapped. Yeah, they're all been kidnapped and kept in some castle, and the Finks have to go invest. So
but there's like
how's it compared to the apple? To the apple?
I compare it more
SCOOBY-DOO.
More tomorrow.
Okay,
more tomorrow. But and SCOOBY-DOO a little bit. Yeah.
How about Xanadu? How's it compared to Xanadu?
Yeah, it's more enjoyable than Xanadu, I think.
I will say this, for all the ribbing that film gets, I mean, I love the soundtrack. Yeah.
Goodbye.
No, I do like the songs in that. There are a couple of songs in that they played constantly in the radio when that movie came out because they're trying desperately to make that movie a hit, which it wasn't. I just have to say to Matt, because he's rubbing his head. No, I have a soft place in my heart for it because when I was a theater attendant,
I have a hard place.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's the reason. That's the main attraction for it to me today. Is it's Olivia Newton-John in her prime. I mean, that's she's worth watching.
To be fair, I believe that her prime was tomorrow. Like
true.
That's the Olivia Newton-John I want to know.
She had a long prime, though.
Oh no, she's gorgeous. I'm not saying. I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, no. In that movie, she's like angelic. Yeah,
she is. Oh my god! And it's also like Xanadu. She's got the '80s hair, which is not.
Yeah, but she's beautiful. But she's in lots of different outfits in Xanadu, though.
And if I could just say my story,
she roller skates with Gene Kelly. For God's sake.
She does. She roller skates. But when I was a theater attendant at Great America, at the end of all the shows, we had to remove all the little seat cushions from all the seats.
Right.
And as we were doing that, the theater all the technical people, as they're dealing with all the light stuff, because it had an amazing sound system, they turned this music on, and it was so great. I remember going, Xanadu. What's
the other one? Is it You Have to Believe in Magic? That was the song they constantly played.
Yeah. You know what, Matt?
Yeah, that's great.
Matt, the next time we're on a road trip,
for what they are, they're fun songs. I mean,
Matt, next time we go on a road trip together, I'm going to put that in. And
Xanadu
you're going to love it.
Oh, wow.
You know what? I really am looking forward to this road trip. But I want it to be an equal time thing. Like each person, everybody gets a track.
Okay,
and we keep rotating, like the show.
That's fair. That is fair.
Matt, you know what we should do is a Monster Party mixtape, and it's all in order. Like a Matt track, Shawn track, Larry track, James track, a Matt track, Larry.
Hey, I think I got it.
That.
How about this? And then is that something we can give? No, because it's got licensed music, right?
Music.
Yeah.
We could be arrested, but yeah.
We could talk about it. Anyway, but if we did it a thing where it's like, so let's say Larry does the first track, right?
Right.
And then and I have to come up with a track that somehow connects to Larry's track.
Oh, that's cool.
Matt,
you
know what I
mean? Like, Matt, thematically Matt, or in a title, like Matt, the same word or something.
Yeah. Okay, Matt, this is for Patreon. It's like the Monster Party music track if we were, you say we can't actually do it because there's licensing fees. But if we were to make one, this is
that's good.
And look, it would be, we could maybe go around like 4 or 5 times of like,
we could
this is the
have our list ready and say,
Yes.
okay, but we have to coordinate.
Oh, that's good. I think that works. Yeah.
But we have to coordinate it so that we have to know what each other's everybody's is, because we can't play on that.
Well, look, there's 2 ways to do this. One is to actually on the spot come up with something, and that could be fun.
That might be hard. That might be hard though.
Well,
for me.
here's what,
You guys are come on.
No. What
You sell yourself short.
You have a list.
Maybe.
You have a
I guess we could do that.
list. I would have a list of
Oh
about
yeah,
like
you can make a
20.
list of soundtracks, list of rock bands I like. For a Patreon thing, that'd be kind of cool. The Monster Party mixtape.
Why not?
Yeah,
And-
that could be
and-
kind of
and
cool.
I love the fact how it's like, look, we'd love to put this together, but we'd be sued because we can't.
Yeah.
We can't actually put the
No,
Star
but
Wars
it would be
theme on
it would be discussing our music tastes.
It's
which,
fun.
you
That's
know,
Yeah.
It would be a playlist.
That'd be fun. I like that.
that's
this
a
is
cool
a
idea.
That's a fun idea.
And I like. I'm going to write it down because, in fact, what I do, by the way, guys, anytime we're talking about topics and emails, I go through those email threads and I write down those on the list.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
all those ones we were just talking about, like human monsters and all these other
Yeah.
ones, I put those on the list. So I'm going to add John Matta's. I like John Matta's idea.
That's a good
of, like,
one.
Horror stars, their last day.
I like that. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That is a good
Because
idea.
that's yes, we can talk about some of the same films again, but in completely different approach. You know, like that's a good one. I mean, we have to find the right guest, but that would be a really good one.
Right. Somebody
Someone really old about ready to kick it.
Yeah, us.
No, I'm
Fingers
just
crossed.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
But like that's like a Courtney Joyner.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely. You're right. That's perfect. I mean, it could be a Patreon thing, but I think it could be a regular show too, actually. You know, because you could do other, you know, I mean, yes, it would be, I guess, it's going to be tailored more towards our generation, you know, but still it could be interesting.
Well, there's a lot of actors who like what's his face? Sound of
What's his
Music.
face? I love him.
What's his face?
Christopher Plummer?
Christopher Plummer, thank you.
Yeah, like
Boy,
there's still, or even like actors that are still alive today, but are much older that are, you know.
But Christopher
Better.
Plummer worked like right till the fucking end.
Right to the
Yes,
end.
Yeah.
he was. I
Knives
just saw him in that mystery film,
Knives Out. Knives
Yeah,
Out.
I like that movie. That was.
It was.
pretty good.
I thought it was great.
That was a good film. I like that.
Jason
Yeah,
Lindsay
I love
hates it.
mysteries. Really?
Yeah.
Well, I
hates
mean,
it.
you do have
Jason
to.
Lindsay.
You're going to either like or love or hate. What's his face? The lead guy, James Bond.
It's James Bond.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig.
He does a very distinct and unique accent, but I went with it, and I liked. Look, I'm a sucker for Agatha Christie style murder mystery, so I liked it.
See, I'm gonna agree with Sean. At first, when he started to talk,
Yeah,
I'm
he's like this Texas drawl or something.
But you know what? Like Sean said, I just stuck with. I mean, I loved everything else, and then it started to get really neat, and
I thought it was cool.
It went in an area where I didn't think it was going to go. And it
Okay.
surprised me.
I haven't seen it, so I can't say it.
I had a few problems with it that kept me from really liking it.
God bless you.
I figured you would. You just hate Daniel Craig, dude.
I love it.
No matter what.
Daniel Craig is awesome. He is awesome.
I'm not saying it's a masterpiece.
I don't mind him in general as an actor, but but it's he's all right.
Also,
he's not my favorite.
Also, not bad. Or I still prefer
he's
the
not bad.
70s. But the newest version of Murder on the Orient Express is kind of interesting because it's what's his name? Oh, I can't.
Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh doing a very another. You know, he does Hercule Poirot.
Yes.
Very crazy accent, crazy mustache.
Yes.
But it's. I mean, if you know that mystery, you know, it's a classic Agatha Christie story, and the original '70s one is great.
I love
this
that
one's
one.
not, but this one's not bad. And I think they're planning to do more Hercule Poirot films.
They've already done that. With that
Death in the
They've
Nile.
already done it. Yeah, it's in the can.
Oh, is it out there yet?
I saw a poster for it.
Oh, okay. Because I love all the Peter Ustinov Poirot films. Actually, I like those.
Yeah, Appointment with Death.
Appointment with Death, and all those. Death in the Nile.
Yeah.
Yep. They're cool.
Death.
Death. Yeah, Death is cool, man.
On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I'm Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Stroth.
And I'm James Gonis.
Keep America strong.
And have your own mad monster was it Mad Movie SmackDown?
Marvelous mad movie, maniacal.
You know what? Home quarantining is starting to get to me. The brain is going.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Mad Movie SmackDown.
Have your own mad movie.
Have your ad, okay.